What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back, and welcome to another episode of Movie Fanatics. Episode 17. If you guys want to see us do something special for episode 20, let us know, because we can do that for you.
We'll get some guests on.
Because I will announce something at the end of this that we have planned since we talked about last night. So you guys know my co-host Michael's right here. What's up, buddy?
Doing good. Had a good day today.
Yeah, I mean, at least I had a good day today too, honestly. At least I had a good day. It didn't feel like, like even though I couldn't wait to leave work, to be fair, I couldn't wait to leave work, but at the same time I was like, I'm not having a bad day.
Yeah, I didn't have a bad day either.
Like, I wasn't feeling like, miserable while I was at work.
Although I have tomorrow and Thursday off. So,
bro, literally same.
Hopefully,
but
catching up on some movies.
I will tell you that tomorrow, because it's now on digital. Actually, after this, I should preface. After this, I will be watching Fight or Flight since it's now on digital.
Nice. Well,
because
go ahead.
Is there let's actually talk about this quick before we get into our first topic for the night. Let's talk about a couple of movies we watched recently, like just for the hell of it. I checked out the movie Prehysteria for the first time.
That's by Full Moon.
Yep. Well, Moonbeam because there was kind of a difference with this back in the 90s or the 80s and 90s, where it was like the horror movies were Full Moon Entertainment. The kids ones were Moonbeam Entertainment. Say like Prehysteria, Beanstalk, Pet Shop, like those movies, to be precise. I know you guys have no clue what the fuck I'm talking about, but
look up the trailer.
That, or look up the opening previews to Prehysteria or Prehysteria 2.
I never seen the film, but I've seen the trailer to it. It's their own ripoff of Jurassic Park.
It kind of is, but considering its budget, I think it's a pretty low budget movie. Like, the looks of the dinosaurs don't look bad. Like, despite the film's pretty low budget, you can tell when you watch it though that it's low budget.
The only Moonbeam films that I've seen was Magic in the Mirror and Magic in the Mirror Foul Play, which I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer to Foul Play because of the VHS of Harriet the Spy, believe it or not.
Yes, me too.
It was because of that movie. I was like, this looks freaking weird.
I thought it was its own film. I did not know that it was a sequel until years later. I
didn't know it was a sequel until just today, actually, when I was looking it up.
Out of all of them, I like the second one better.
But yeah, I want to check out more Full Moon films and also more Moonbeam Entertainment movies. I want to watch more of them.
And tomorrow, not only is my sister graduating from college, she's becoming a nurse.
Nice.
And also after that, later on at night, I'm going to see Jaws on the big screen.
There you go. So we got those. Thursday afternoon, I want to say. I think it'll be earlier in the evening. I will be seeing Karate Kid Legends. So we'll see about that. And I know some of you guys are probably wondering, where's my review for Lilo and Stitch? I thought about it. I don't really have too much to say about it, to be completely honest.
How was it?
It was really solid. Like, even though it's nothing groundbreaking, I honestly liked it a little bit more than Snow White. They're both on the same level for me, but I liked Lilo and Stitch just a little bit more.
And of course, not as good as the animated one.
Definitely not. But we still love Stitch.
I never seen the animated one, so give it a watch at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, I did go see that one last Thursday, and I really liked it. It's just I don't feel like I really want to give off all my energy just to talk about it.
Understandable.
It wasn't like Mission Impossible where it's I wanted to really talk about it. that was the one where it was like, I have to talk about this. Like, regardless, I reviewed the last one, so I got to give my energy to it, and I did. I fucking loved it, and only behind Sinners right now for best movie of the year for me. It's only behind Sinners. I know some people have some different thoughts on it, but I'm sorry.
Sinners is my favorite film of the year so far.
It probably will be by the end of the year, unless there's like 2 or 3 movies that actually beat it. That's gonna be fucking crazy. But let's get right down to it. Let's talk about.
I want to say before we move in, I did actually. I know Luke's has been telling me to watch this film, and I finally watched it. I finally watched Better Man, and it was a very good movie. It was so good. The performance was good. The chimpanzee stuff didn't bother me. I thought the motion capture of the chimpanzee as Robbie Williams was done really good. Great music, good story, and without a doubt, even though the film didn't do well at the box office, this film will definitely be a cult classic in the years to come.
Yes, we had the discussion about this a little earlier. So anyways, and yeah, I mean, and Better Man is still in my top 5 of the year, so that's pretty freaking crazy.
Even though it came out last year, it's still considered a 2025 film.
Mainly because it was actually released wider to the public this year.
Everybody's going to say, oh, well, it was released last year. It didn't release this year.
It released limitedly. It released limited last year and also premiered at festivals last year.
Yeah.
But when were more people actually able to see the film?
In January.
There you go. Well, technically February, because that was when it landed on digital, but
yeah.
Regardless, I digress. But anyways, let's get into our first topic of the night. You know what we got to start with, of course. We got to talk about this weekend box office. And for 2 movies, like we're going to say this right now, for 2 movies, this is record breaking right here. For 2 movies.
Yes.
Let's get to it. So coming in at number 1, to absolutely nobody's surprise, Lilo and Stitch with $146 million. Let's go ahead and take a look at the worldwide gross.
Yep. Here we go.
Yep, it grossed over $300 million worldwide on its opening weekend. That is insane. Because if you compare this to how Snow White did back in March, this just blew Snow White out of the water.
Yeah, this is success for Disney.
Huge success. And we already knew from the get-go that this film was going to make a lot of money.
And it had a budget of $100 million, so
it already broke even.
Already broke even.
So yeah, so this comes as absolutely no surprise to me. I'm glad it's doing really well. But let's be honest. Do we really, because it's doing really well, do we need a live action Lilo and Stitch 2? Absolutely not.
Let's compare it to Snow White's. Look at that.
Snow White was an absolute box office disaster.
Yep.
Lilo and Stitch
kicked its ass.
For sure. I mean, I think it was kind of proof to show with Snow White that everybody was pretty much tired of these Disney live action remakes. I kind of am personally myself, but I enjoy, but the last couple ones actually kind of hit me a little bit. I enjoyed them for what they were.
Still,
are they like the best the best Disney live action remakes? No. I would think honestly, my favorite Disney live action remake would probably be the 2016 Jungle Book. I think that's the perfect examination of what you can do with animals in live action. It doesn't feel emotionless like The Lion King does.
It's doing well in Mexico, internationally.
It's doing great, man. Again, it didn't surprise me that it's actually doing it's not surprising me that it's doing really well. I just didn't think it'd actually do this well opening weekend. And then, of course, at number 2 with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning pulling in $64 million. Let's take a look and see how it's doing worldwide as at the moment.
Why am I not surprised?
Past $200 million. Now, let's be real here. Will this film break even? Probably not.
No.
Because this film has a budget of $400 million, and it makes sense why it does because of all the stuff that happened behind the scenes, the submarine malfunctions. So it makes sense for why it costs that much. But I'm so happy it's actually making money. It actually grossed over $100 million on its opening weekend, like globally.
All right, I was gonna say people are just tired of Mission Impossible.
They're not. Like it like this one shows that fans are wanting to go see them. Like, because this is more than likely going to be the last one. And with how the film wraps up, I'm not going to spoil anything. It actually feels like it's the end of this franchise. Like, whenever we complain about final chapters actually not feeling final,
mm-hmm.
The Final Reckoning actually felt like a final chapter in this franchise, because in the first half of the film, yes, it is a lot of exposition for sure, but there's also moments to kind of conclude the arcs to the characters. So I kind of felt like it actually worked in that end for me.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, yeah, I love The Final Reckoning. Like I said, it's only behind Sinners right now in my ranking. Only behind Sinners. In third place, Final Destination Bloodlines with a 63% drop, $19 million. Let's take a look at this one. And this is another one I did see, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think it actually is my favorite out of all of them. Wow, dude. Almost $200 million pulled in. That's great. I mean, a lot of Final Destination fans, including myself, were waiting for this.
I never seen any of them, so
I think honestly, the one I could really see you liking the most is either 1 or 3. In all honesty, those are the ones I could see you liking the most. I don't like. I would not be surprised if you didn't like 5. Or if you didn't like 4. I mean, no, not 5. 4. So, but yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines making good money at the box office. That's for certain.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it is, because it's a good movie. Thunderbolts, 42% drop with $9 million. Let's take a look and see how this one's doing. Almost, dude, it's close to getting to $400 million globally.
Good. It deserves it. It's a good movie.
I'm so happy it was actually as good as it was.
And it's better than Brave New World by far.
Brave New Mid,
Brave New Mid, yeah.
Or no, Mid New World, actually better. That's a better title. Mid New World. Because let's see. Yeah, this film. Yeah, well, yeah, to be fair, that movie is actually kind of ass. Let me see. So the film. So I read. So let's see. $180 million for its budget. It needs about $100 million more to break even. So we're getting there.
It's going to break even.
I think it probably will. But to be fair, we got some really big ones next month, which we're going to get to later.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm still glad this film is doing well and it passed its budget. Still, honestly, one of my favorite movies of the year. Honestly, I really enjoyed Thunderbolts.
It's definitely on my list of favorite films of the year.
I was so sad that my theater pulled it too quick. Like, honestly, dude, I was really sad. They pulled it when Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible came out. I was honestly really sad because I was planning on seeing it a third time. because it was that good to me. But also forgot. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring your guys' comments. Old Restless is here. What's up?
Yes, a special.
Yep. Marvel and DC Marshlands is here. What's up? And Cyber Warrior is here. What's up?
Cyber Warrior.
Oh, and he says, I think Thunderbolts is the best movie of the year so far. Cool.
That and Sinners, which we're going to talk about next.
Yes, because at number 4 is Sinners with a 43% drop. Let's take a look at this one and how it's doing.
This is really, so far my favorite film of the year.
It is the best movie of the year. I mean, it's gonna have to take a hell of a movie to knock this one out.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. This is big for a horror film. $338 million globally. This is huge for a horror film. So, and again, I've now seen this movie twice. It was even better the second time.
And it's getting a July release on 4K.
Wasn't it? Didn't it say like 2160 picture quality?
Yeah, I heard it's gonna that the 4K is gonna have the IMAX, I think, ratio, maybe.
Like IMAX enhanced ratio.
IMAX enhanced ratio.
Bro, like when I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna try not to cry right now. Because that is freaking amazing. And I cannot wait to own this movie and watch it again and again.
I can't wait to own it too.
The Last Rodeo with its opening weekend at $5 million doesn't surprise me because of it's a religious movie. I don't know why my theater got that movie and didn't keep in Thunderbolts for another week.
What a stupid move.
If my theater like somehow got Phoenician Scheme by some miracle, like I probably won't happen, but if by some miracle they did, I would probably be running laps around my apartment. I know it won't happen, but we'll talk about Phoenician Scheme here in a little bit. So, Friendship with a $4 million, excuse me, not $400 million, $4 million jump right here, 228% drop. That's kind of funny.
No plus.
No plus. Jump. I think I was saying jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another A24 film.
I've heard good things about the film.
I've heard that film was really fucking funny. So.
Well, my Alamo Drafthouse has it, so maybe I'll get a chance to see it at some point.
Yeah, let's. So yeah, Minecraft 63% drop. Accountant 2 57%. Hurry Up Tomorrow 79%.
That movie.
I was thinking my theater would play it, and I would do a double feature of that and Final Destination.
Do not go see it. Do not.
My theater didn't get it, so I mean, but I want to give it a try because like I'm curious.
I said to Mike, I don't know how he likes that film. I don't know.
But hey, respect all opinions. Respect all opinions. Like we all have our tastes.
We all have our tastes. But when you have at the beginning of that film, you have The Weeknd going. Then you're in for a bad time. Literally, that's how the film opens.
That's kind of funny now that you say that.
The only thing that was good about that film is the cinematography, the music, and Jenna Ortega. The Weeknd should just stick to singing because he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. And I'm like, I got some flack for that. I'm like, it's just my opinion on the movie.
I'm guessing you probably got flack from Weeknd fans.
Yeah,
because our good buddy Jacob Hubbard experienced the same thing. Shout out to Jacob, by the way.
Shout out to Jacob. He's not alone. I got flack as well in my review.
Yeah, let's see. Snow White. I still don't know why Disney decided to re-release that. That's really odd in my book. It got. Yeah, but it's still not much though because the film still like performed horribly at the box office. So we already looked into that already. Let's see, Clown in a Cornfield 89% drop, Until Dawn 84% drop. Yeah, nothing else too much in here.
84% drop for Amateur.
Anyways, yeah, there's nothing really much else in here.
Well, this week we got
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid Legends.
And Bring Her Back.
Is that an A24 film?
That is A24. I could see that one doing really well, though, to be fair, because the Philippou brothers' last film, Talk to Me, made loads of money at the box office. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here, because I don't think my theater will get Bring Her Back. I know they will get Karate Kid, so
of course.
I will see Karate Kid, because I finished Cobra Kai.
I probably won't see it because it connects to Cobra Kai.
It is set after Cobra Kai, so yeah. My suggestion would be to would be to binge the whole series. Like, it's actually like a really easy binge. Like, it took me like a few days to finish that show. Like when season 5 came out. And on Sunday, I binged the rest of season 6. So, but yeah, that's it for weekend box office. Yeah, this was crazy that 2 movies actually did really well on their opening weekend. So,
thank you, Old Restless.
Good job, good man, Old Restless. You're a good man. But
he even agrees. Opened with a dude purring in the weekend.
Yep. But yeah, if we had to like put in predictions right now with where Karate Kid is going to end up on this list, it'll probably come in below Mission Impossible, to be fair.
It'll probably be, well, if Lilo and Stitch is still in number 1, it'll probably still be number 1. Mission Impossible will still be number 2. Karate Kid Legends will be probably 3.
That's my guess. It's probably going to be 3 because Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible will be like thriving.
Yeah, Karate Kid Legends, it won't be the number 1 movie at the weekend box office.
Which, speaking of which, the first reactions for Karate Kid Legends, but to get this right out of the way before we start talking about them, they have not been good.
They've been mixed.
Yep, I'm just saying they have not been good. And, which really worries me.
Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have any first reactions though, but here's a site right here coming from.
But we can still, of course, talk about some first reactions that we can see from people here.
Yeah.
Because let's see. It says Karate Kid Legends is more of an excuse to bring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio together on screen than adding anything new to this franchise. It's like modern day remake of the original Karate Kid to appeal to new generations. Simple and effective. That's actually what I'm actually going to say this before we read the next review. That was actually my ultimate concern, was if it was going to add anything new. And it looks like from some reviews that I've seen of this movie, it doesn't seem like it. So I'm pretty scared going into this one. So we'll see. Karate Kid Legends is filled with ridiculous cliches, absurd conveniences, terrible editing, and confusing pacing. And yet, as a huge fan of the franchise, I have to say I had a good time watching it. It survives on the charm of Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, and Ben Wong, whose vibrant chemistry keeps the film afloat in its weakest moments. Okay, so that's at least something positive. Somewhat positive, but I think that's more like, kind of mixed. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it retains the charming, silly essence that fans of the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai have grown to love, and for many, that will be enough. If that doesn't sound like something you're in the mood for, there are far better offerings in theaters right now, like Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, that deserve your attention. That Sinners, Thunderbolts. I'll even say Final Destination, honestly. I mean, hell, Ballerina will be out next. Ballerina will be out next week. Like, you guys would probably rather go see that than Karate Kid Legends. That's for damn sure. Anyways,
that film might be the one to probably take off Lilo and Stitch or Mission Impossible when it comes out.
I don't think Ballerina will make that much money. Because I mean, even though the John Wick films were very successful, I don't think Ballerina will be as successful as the actual John Wick films. So, but we're going to talk about Ballerina here a little bit later. So let's see. This one comes from Drake Wayne 2248. A very entertaining from start to finish. Its frenetic pace and familiar plot will leave fans of the saga happy. Little development of the villain and female characters, but it is compensated by good cinematography, action, and charisma of the protagonist. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is exactly right to me. Like, where it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I thought that William Zabka would be in the film. You know, he would have been good.
If he actually makes a cameo, then maybe. I don't know. I mean, even if he makes a cameo, though, if I'm not liking the movie, I'm not going to give it a positive review because of that.
You can't have it without Johnny.
If they're able to carry this without Johnny, then maybe, because it was great to see Johnny again when he came to Cobra Kai. Like, he was like honestly the biggest highlight of that show. Like, he's that freaking good. So, but also really quick, I want to see highlight Cyber Warriors comment. I'll see Karate Kid Legends because I'm a Karate Kid fan, so I'm curious. I mean, I will too, as a Karate Kid fan. Hollywood Handle was far harsher in this one. Ooh, let's see. Oh. One of the worst films in the franchise. It's super rushed, formulaic, soulless, and wastes Jackie and Ralph's character in every way possible. Ooh. So, I don't know. I think so. That begs the question: will these early reviews get fans to see Karate Kid Legends? Honestly, probably not.
If
they look at the more positive side, then possibly. But I really have no idea how this will go.
I'm gonna go to IMDb because they already gave it a rating. So
yep, I think it's in like the 6.3 or 4, or I really have no idea.
It's at a 6.5.
That's kind of the typical like average kind of rating for a lot of movies on IMDb. But also, to be fair, that if that's the way it started out, that doesn't technically mean it's going to be a good sign.
Yeah. Already there's
it could have been good, just not this way. 6 out of 10. We're not going to really read these. Let's just take small little looks at them.
Yeah, we're going to hide spoilers.
Yes, definitely hide spoilers here, please. Thank you very much. Kind of disappointed with a 6 out of 10. Again, these are like really long ass reviews, so yeah. Utterly terrible. 1 out of 10. Interesting. Miyagi Hut. 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, I had to do a football joke. I'm sorry. One of the lowest in the franchise, despite some notable moments. 6 out of 10. A missed kick. Karate Kid's legend fails to honor the legacy. 5 out of 10. A bad commercial film. 1 out of 10. Interesting. Okay. Generic, very fast paced, but okay. 5 out of 10.
It's 10.
The Karate Kid Legends is a stunning film with a retro feel. 10 out of 10. Okay. Sensei, was this really necessary? 4 out of 10. The most plain movie in the franchise, but heavily bogged down by the editing. Ooh, that's not good. 5 out of 10. Already on social platform worldwide. 10 out of 10. Oh my god. But 10 stars for okay, so there will be a post-credit scene for it. So
these are reviews from people that have seen the film early or went to a screening.
Yes. So there you go.
There you go.
So yeah, I think that's about it for that because
yeah, so it's gotten mixed reviews.
mixed so far, so we shall see. I have honestly no idea where this really could go.
Cyber Warrior says if there's one thing Cobra Kai did right, they redeemed Johnny.
They definitely did. They definitely redeemed Johnny. And that honestly made me happy.
I mean, the trailer for Karate Kid Legends I thought was pretty fun, but when I heard that it takes place years after Cobra Kai, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to watch it because I have yet to watch Cobra Kai.
And you have to do like a whole fucking binge just to get through that.
Just to watch Karate Kid Legends.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
But is what it is.
I don't know if there's going to be any connections to Cobra Kai though.
If it's set after, then there probably is connections. So, like one part of it's like with Ralph Macchio, and then one part of it's with Jackie Chan. So, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, are you guys excited for Karate Kid Legends? Let us know in the comments. So also, we got some more Avengers Doomsday news.
Yeah, and it's not good news.
Yeah, this is not looking too good for Avengers Doomsday. But also at the same time, this might actually work, to kind of give the film a bit more time.
Yeah.
So
the film has been delayed.
Also, really quick, let's welcome to the show. What's up?
Michael, you have no place to talk because you can clearly see what my tagline says.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to remove that. But yeah, we are talking some new Avengers Doomsday news because the film
I heard getting delayed. What the hell's up with that?
So like bad thing for where this could lead, but a good thing to actually give the film a little bit more time because I don't think they've even started filming yet.
Yeah. Well, what was the original release date? 2026?
Yeah.
It was May 2026. So it's May of 2025 and they haven't even started filming yet.
If you know what it feels like, and I know this is a big studio, so I can't really compare them to me. It's one of those things where, like, when you're a filmmaker, you get so excited about working on a project, you just want to announce everything without even ideas of when you're going to film. That's what it almost kind of felt like they were doing. Like, oh, we got so many people, it's exciting. Oh, wait, we don't even know when the first day of filming is.
Exactly. That's kind of what we're trying to get at here with this. So,
before we go into this, Mike, what are your thoughts on Karate Kid Legends? Do you think it will be a good movie?
I actually do have hope. I don't think it's going to be a masterpiece, but I do have hope that it will be good. Because it's actually kind of interesting because, after seeing Jackie Chan, technically the Jaden Smith Karate Kid movie is no longer a remake.
Well, it doesn't. Well, wow, there we go.
And I actually am one of those people in the weird groups where I actually really do like the Jaden Smith Karate Kid movie. No, it is not better than the original at all.
Absolutely not.
And it's not. And why is it called the Karate Kid if they do kung fu?
That is incredibly misleading, for sure.
It is. Apparently, in some countries, it's actually been renamed the Kung Fu Dream.
The Kung Fu Dream. That's an interesting way to do it.
But other than that, it's still Jackie Chan actually gives a great performance in that movie.
He's the reason why that film is actually tolerable. Honestly,
yeah, even Jaden Smith wasn't awful. I mean, he's a little whiny kid, but in some of the emotional scenes, he does do a good job. But so yeah, like I said, I'm actually happy because, like I said, it's not a remake anymore. Even Wikipedia changed that it's a remake. And this is actually going to be kind of interesting to see a movie because usually the cliche, whether it's a boxing movie, a karate film, a wrestling movie, whatever, it's always like the one trainer in the movie. But now we have two trainers, which is something that I don't really think has ever been done, unless I'm not thinking of a bunch of movies right now. But I just feel like it's really unique. And also, Ralph Macchio, whatever that guy is doing to look younger than me at 62 years old, send it my way. Because
I know, right?
goddamn, is he good looking? No homo.
No homo. Good way to put it. So yeah, so Doomsday has been delayed to December 2026 and Secret Wars to December of 2027. So yeah, because
Doomsday is now
May 1st, 2026 was originally the release date for Doomsday. Then Secret Wars was going to be for May 7th of 2027.
I mean, I don't understand what they were thinking. I mean, they got all this money at their disposal. I don't know. I don't know how every Marvel project has been since, but I feel like since they feel like they have all this money at their disposal, they can just rush into a production and get it done right at the due date because nowadays it's quantity over quality. Which let me get this straight, and I know we're gonna keep referencing this. If they have so much fucking money to just make a movie really quickly and get it released within a year, what's going on with Blade? Just saying. I don't care if it's bad or not. What's going on?
You do have a good point there, my friend.
Yes, I do.
So,
Old Restless says Karate Kid blows.
Fuck. The original's a freaking classic, dude. I mean, I even like the two sequels preceding it. Like,
what about the one with Hillary Swank?
That's awful.
I mean, Pat Morita is the only thing that actually kind of keeps that movie, you know, afloat. I mean, I no disrespect to Hillary Swank. I love her, but that's really not like that's not the Karate Kid.
I think it was actually her first movie, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah, the next Karate Kid, that movie kind of blows.
Well, if you want a good karate movie, you should watch Chris Farley's Beverly Hills Ninja.
Absolutely,
I love that movie.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
That's my favorite Chris Farley film.
It's freaking hilarious.
And Michael, say this. I'll watch that over Chairman of the Board.
Yeah, there you go. You've actually finally admitted a good one.
Well, you know what? Michael finally has a redemption story in this live stream, Luke.
Anyways,
don't get me wrong. It's a guilty pleasure for me, Chairman of the Board, but Beverly Hills Ninja is a much better film.
There you go.
Michael, you just redeemed yourself. Let's not go there. Let's let Luke finish.
But yeah, there's not really much to continuously go over with this topic because, like I said, with this plan, I mean, it kind of makes sense with what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it's like you really should have had a plan by the time that you got like all the casting out. Like you should have had the plan like right then and there. Like if you could make so much money with your films, how do you not have this planned out? Like,
yeah, I mean, and look, after seeing the cast and when I did that whole live stream thing with Zach Milne, and have you seen that with T? This is not just, we got a couple big actors and we got like some extras and stuff. This is probably going to be one of the most expensive superhero movies ever made.
And apparently I read a little bit of news that that it's going to need like $2 billion to break even, and I call immediate bullshit.
I call audible on that.
Like seriously, like when I saw that little news, I think it was one of my buddies in my Instagram group chat that this guy and I are a part of sent that. I was like, that's immediate bullshit, dude. Like there is no way that either one of those films is going to need $2 billion just to break the gap.
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense. But regardless, but also to be fair though, Final Reckoning would probably need it like close to at least $1 billion to break even because of how big the budget was.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I want to see Final Reckoning so bad, but I promised my mom I would wait because she wants to watch the entire series because she's only seen the first two.
Wow, so she watched a great one and then a meh one. but she hasn't seen like how far like this series, like how much better the series has gotten since three.
We always like try to like watch movies and stuff. I mean, she wants to like get into like ever since like John Wick. She's always like loved action movies now. So the one thing that she wants to do is she wants to watch the Jason Bourne movies, which I said good choice. She wants to watch all the Equalizer movies, which is going to be very easy to do, and then she wants to watch all the Mission Impossible movies.
There you go. I mean, within the span of a couple days, like of like at least a few days before I saw Final Reckoning, I rewatched all 7 movies because I was like, I have to rewatch all these before I go see the last one, like to really refresh myself.
I love the first one. I love the first Mission Impossible because it's got one of my all-time favorite actors that does not get enough love because now he only does movies in France. Jean Reno, aka Leon the Professional.
Yep.
It's so incredible. But I love Mission Impossible, and God, if I do not see Mission Impossible before it leaves the theater, which I guarantee it won't, it's going to make so much money they'll pay for it to be in theaters for a while, like what they did with Top Gun Maverick. But I gotta see it in IMAX.
I know, man. I get you. But VFG says Mission Impossible 2 was absolute trash. I don't think it was trash. Like the first half was honestly not like this. To be fair, though, Mission Impossible 2 is not the Mission Impossible movie that you would sign up for because half of it is like a James Bond movie. And it's like, that's not Mission Impossible. The other half of it is a John Woo action movie. Like,
if I want to watch a James Bond movie, I'm gonna watch a James Bond movie.
Not a Mission Impossible, not a Mission Impossible movie that's trying to masquerade as a James Bond movie.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Or basically like this, because like I said, first half not Mission Impossible, James Bond movie. Second half, I would actually say it is more like a John Woo like flair kind of movie. It's even the second half didn't really feel like a Mission Impossible movie. It just felt like John Woo's style. I mean, his style is cool, but that does not fit for a Mission Impossible movie.
There are some styles that just don't work for certain projects, and that's a very good example of exactly what not to do for a Mission Impossible movie, and they have learned their lesson because they've been getting better with each movie, which Fallout is still my favorite.
Still my favorite as well.
Yeah.
The bad guy was shit, the script was horrible, and all the triple cuts scenes for the action was just garbage. I actually thought the action in Mission Impossible 2 is the best part of the movie.
What he says about Karate Kid Legends, he said, VFG, I'm pretty sure they've already said that there wasn't going to be a connection with Cobra Kai.
Okay, well, that's nice at least, because the one reason why I haven't really enjoyed a lot of the Marvel films is the fact that you have to watch a show. Like, if you want to understand Multiverse of Madness, you have to watch WandaVision. Like, you have to. You have no choice. But
exactly.
The fact that they're at least trying to tell the story while, like, acknowledging that Cobra Kai is canon, they're not relying on that, so you can still watch it. So that's why I'm happy. Because I still haven't finished Cobra Kai.
Said,
I did finish it, so.
He said for Blade, Blade has been scripts, director problems.
Yep, script and director problems. But yeah, there's nothing really much else to discuss with stuff about Avengers Doomsday.
It says, with those changes, Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day are now the only Marvel Cinematic Universe entry slates hit theaters next year.
Gosh,
that's kind of crazy. So, but yeah.
So we're only gonna have like what, one Marvel film next year?
2, because it said Doomsday and Brand New Day, so that's 2 films. Because as far as the MCU goes, we only got one more film left to go this entire year, which is Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, which one are you guys excited for the most next year, Doomsday or Brand New Day?
Doomsday.
Okay.
I think I'd honestly say Brand New Day, mainly because I'm only going to say because I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith in the Russo brothers because of how bad the Electric State was.
Oh, that's absolute cinema.
Oh, fuck off, dude. If you want to talk about absolute cinema, let's go ahead and move into our next topic here.
Okay.
So
no, it's not. It's not.
Let's talk about some Cannes Film Festival movie premieres. There was actually a couple films that did premiere here that I actually wanted to talk about a little bit. I didn't see them, but there is one that is coming out next week that I might be seeing.
Is it?
We'll talk. We'll save it for when we get there.
Yeah.
Michael, I thought you were gonna do that whole butthead thing, like.
I feel like I just figured something out, but what? This sucks. Yeah, it really sucks.
Look at that chick. Hey, back in sale. I did go that way because. If you guys remember Chris Stuckman's review and review for Disappointments Room and also his worst list, he did that both times.
Yeah,
which was freaking hilarious. Also, really quick, I want to say what's up to Mr. Collector Movie Man in the chat. What's going on, man?
Movie Man
says, "Hey there, everyone. Well, what's up, man? And I love the Superman profile pic. Cannot wait for Superman.
I cannot absolutely.
According to Noah and his live show, I think the film is going to be 143 minutes. I think.
Nearly 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I think will be fine, given James Gunn, because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was about 2.5 hours. So, and that was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm just excited.
It's actually not what I said. It's actually 122 minutes.
Okay, so just 2 hours. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was hoping
that's still fine. I mean, like a movie like that needs to be at least 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Like, to be fair. But anyways,
and already saying that the film has already faced major changes after the test screenings.
Oh God, that's bad.
So it says reshoots, less humor, shorter runtime, new editor, and composer.
That's not good. Honestly, that's not good.
This is for Superman?
That's all for Superman. That's not good.
Okay, well, I hope it's still... I have faith in James Gunn. I really have faith in him. I absolutely do.
This news, before we get to the cans, this is breaking news for Superman.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to change the banner since I don't have one up for it.
No, we're just gonna show. So there you go.
Okay, let's just show that really quick. Come on.
Yeah.
It's coming up here.
No,
yeah, but
worldofreal.com.
It is legit. It looks like it is legit here.
Well,
yep.
I guess I can't be too.
Was revealed today.
Well, what? We can only hope. We can only hope.
Well, think about it. What does Superman's logo mean? Hope. There you go.
That's why I'm saying, like, only thing we can do right now is hope. God, dude, I really hope. Like, I am hoping and praying to God this does not suck.
I don't think it's going to be awful. I mean, would you guys say? I mean, James Gunn has like also wrote movies before, but can you legitimately say that James Gunn has made a horrendously awful movie?
If you count movie 43,
he didn't. Did he direct that?
He was one of them. He was one of the directors on that movie.
Okay, well, you know what? We all make mistakes, but he did.
VFT. It's on.
World of Real.
Worldofreal.com.
So, but if we scrap movie 43 off to the side,
you got absolutely. Slither.
We had Slither. I mean, Belko Experiment was
Super.
There was Super.
Oh, well, he's saying
the two Scooby-Doo movies he wrote.
Yep.
Of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, the Suicide Squad, and also don't forget he also did write Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead.
He did. He did. So here's the thing about Zack Snyder. Sorry, not Zack Snyder. Here's the thing about James Gunn. People could say whatever they want about James Gunn. You know, they don't like him as a person. Maybe he comes off as an asshole. But when it comes to comic book movies or just comic book knowledge, he knows what he's doing.
Like, he knows his comic book movies. That's for certain.
Him and Sam Raimi, in my opinion, are two of the best comic book film directors of all time.
Absolutely. But anyways, let's get back to the Cannes Film Festival stuff here.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there's a couple of films in here that we want to talk about here for a second. But one in particular.
DFG says that news might be fake, but who knows?
Who knows?
About Superman. So,
we'll see.
Do we have the 15 best movies?
Let's take a look. 15 movies that premiere at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival. Let us take a look.
Yes,
this was from IndieWire, by the way. So one of the films that did premiere there was Ari Aster's new film Eddington, which has been getting a very mixed reception, which is kind of unfortunate because I love Ari Aster as a filmmaker with Hereditary, Midsummer, and Beau is Afraid. Beau is Afraid is very divisive, but I don't care. It's a great film.
I can't. I gotta finish it. I stopped after I saw the giant penis monster.
Well, that was kind of that kind of makes into the fun of it was the penis monster.
That was I mean, that was probably one of the most expensive A24 movies ever. Like, holy shit.
I honestly loved Beau is Afraid. Like, it's a weird movie. Yes, it very much so is. It's like Ari Aster's fever dream.
It is.
And I love it for those reasons. And plus, Joaquin Phoenix honestly gives one of his best performances of his whole career.
My favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie, not to get off topic from the Cannes thing, but it's a really great underrated film called You Were Never Really There, and Joaquin Phoenix plays as kind of like this bodyguard guy who gets hired to rescue this guy's daughter from like a human trafficking ring, and like imagine the movie Taken, but instead of it being like a full action movie, it's in like the same style as like the movie Pig with Nicolas Cage, where it's more about drama. But God, is it a great movie. But enough off topic. That's me advertising. You're never really there. What's the next film?
There you go.
All right, let's see what else we have on this list here. Because like I said, that one was very, very divisive. Drunken Noodles. That's one that I've never heard of.
Drunken Noodles.
We talked a little bit about Eddington. Heads or Tails. Not heard about that either. It Was Just an Accident. That's another one I never heard of.
I've never heard of that one. No.
My Father's Shadow. Another one I've never heard of. I haven't gotten to the one I've actually wanted to talk about. Not that one either. Not that one either. A Poet. That's another one. That's not one of them.
I haven't heard of any of these movies.
We haven't even gotten to the one I did want to talk about. The Secret Agent. That's not one of them either. What else? Sentimental Value. That's another. Wait, that director's name looks familiar. Hold on. Let me actually take a look.
Joachim Trier. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think so. Sentimental Value. There's. Oh yeah, he was the guy that directed the film "The Worst Person in the World," aka what I think was the most overrated movie that year. I like the movie, but it's not like amazing like a lot of people made it out to be, in my opinion. It was good, but I don't love that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
So, but anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, let's do it.
See what other ones. Nope, not that one. I feel like we're just gonna say nope, not that one until we actually find it, and it's not that one either. Oh, wait. Go back up. Harris Dickinson's directing this? That is actually really interesting. A movie called Urchin.
Harris Dickinson, the actor?
I think it is. Yeah, baby. It says baby girl star Harris Dickinson.
Oh.
Okay. But now that will catch my attention there. So, but that's still not one of them that I wanted to talk about.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
We're not gonna say it's not that one. Come on. What is this?
I don't know any of these damn movies.
Okay, we'll have to find a different site here. I'm still not gonna say what the movie is until we actually can find it, because
come on.
I don't know where it is. The films of the there we go. I think that's what we need to do.
All right.
That's where we needed to go. All right, let's take a look.
Oh, here we go.
There it is. The Phoenician Scheme. That was it.
Wes Anderson.
That was the film I am actually planning to go see next week. I am very. If you guys don't know me, I am a massive Wes Anderson fan. He is one of my favorite filmmakers working today. I think he is such a talented filmmaker. Like you can complain about like his style of films all you want, but I love his style of just, his cinematography and also his comedy being so deadpan and sarcastic. It's honestly pretty freaking hilarious.
I love Fantastic Mr. Fox.
The custom eye? Are you cussing with me?
You cussing with me?
No, you cussing with me?
You cussing don't you
don't cuss and point it. Don't cuss and point at me.
I've never seen any film directed by this guy.
Wes Anderson is a very unique filmmaker. There's regular audience members don't really seem to love his movies because they just think they're pretentious and boring.
Hotel.
One of his best right here.
One of my favorite is his first film, Bottle Rocket.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember when I talked to you, look, I haven't seen all of his movies, but Bottle Rocket is very good. I mean, Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson, they're great in that movie.
The Wilson brothers.
Yep. But also,
check it out, though, Bottle Rocket.
But with a Phoenician Scheme, to be clear, that movie, I mean, like every Wes Anderson film, has a loaded cast. I mean, you have Benicio del Toro as our main character, who plays as a real estate person, trying to I guess in some way reconnect with his daughter, like to give some of his estate in some ways.
Yeah.
So, again, you can't really explain that movie very well. It's a really tough to explain kind of movie. I mean, it feels like with any Wes Anderson film, except for really I'd say except for Darjeeling Limited and Moonrise Kingdom, all of his films I think are honestly really hard to explain.
I mean, when you watch the movies, his movies aren't really complicated. It's not like he does.
They're not complicated. It's just kind of hard to describe the plot.
Yes, very much so. I think one of his most underrated films is Isle of Dogs.
Another one of his the other claymation film that he did. Where's that one at? Hold on.
Well, what else did he do? So he did Fantastic Mr. Fox, Isle of Dogs, and I don't know the other one.
That was the other one. Was Isle of Dogs.
He's only done those two?
Yeah, those are the only two claymation ones he did.
Oh, well, they're both great.
I'm trying to see, because I'm going to read off some of these cast members that are in this fucking movie.
Benicio del Toro?
In this one, Isle of Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll read off the cast members in Phoenician Scheme. There's Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Liev Schreiber, Bill Murray, Jeff Goldblum, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Greta Gerwig, Frances McDormand, Courtney B. Vance. Harvey Keitel's even in this.
Oh, wow. Starts on the cast.
And now, let me pull up my phone so I can find Phoenician Scheme.
I've seen some of the cast so far. I just know Benicio del Toro and Michael Cera, which is interesting. I can't recall if Michael Cera's been in a Wes Anderson movie.
This is his first one.
Oh, well, awesome.
So yeah, Mia Threepleton, who is actually the daughter of famous actress Kate Winslet, believe it or not. Yeah, Michael Cera, Riz Ahmed, Oscar winner, but technically he was an Oscar. He won his Oscar for a short film, but he was an Oscar nominee for the film Sound of Metal. If you guys don't remember,
that was a great movie. A movie about a drummer who loses his hearing. Good movie.
Excellent movie.
What movie is it?
Sound of Metal. Let's see. You also got Tom Hanks in his second Wes Anderson film,
Asteroid City.
Yep, Bryan Cranston, Matthew Amalric, who is in pretty much every Wes Anderson film now after I think Grand Budapest Hotel. Richard Ayoade, I can't pronounce his last name, dude, but to put it plain and simple, Professor Marmalade from The Bad Guys. Like, I'll put it plain and simple like that.
So wait, you mean to tell me that this is a Wes Anderson movie and Jason Schwartzman is not in it?
But you do have Scarlett Johansson and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
I mean, I think Benedict Cumberbatch made his first appearance in a Wes Anderson film in one of the short films, which was The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
I've never seen that, but I mean, I've always liked, every time I see a Wes Anderson movie, I always think of Jason Schwartzman. I don't know if he's been in every single one of his movies, but it's like Jason Schwartzman to Wes Anderson is like Johnny Depp to Tim Burton.
Name 3 other actors that you think of when it comes to Wes Anderson.
Tilda Swinton.
Definitely.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe's a good one.
George Clooney.
He's only been in one.
Is he only Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Only in Mr. Fox.
Wow.
Bill Murray's another one.
Bill Murray. Edward Norton.
Edward Norton's a good one. I mean, even though he's not in Phoenician Scheme for some reason, he's not going to be in that.
I do know Edward Norton is actually like really good friends with Wes Anderson, and he actually doesn't require Wes to pay his salary whenever he works with him because he really likes working with him, so he never like forces his usual salary on him, which is really cool.
Yeah. So
Scarlett Johansson's another one.
Well, I think she's been in them since Isle of Dogs. I don't remember if she was in French Dispatch or not. I know Benicio was in French Dispatch. I'm taking a look at the cover here, and it does not say Scarlett Johansson. So, but you also got in French Dispatch, you got Tilda Swinton, of course, Bill Murray, Jeffrey Wright, Adrian Brody. You got Timothy Chalamet in this one. Elizabeth Moss is in this one. Saoirse Ronan's in this. I think honestly, either French Dispatch or Asteroid City might be his biggest cast that he has assembled. So, but I don't know. But yeah, I can't wait to see that next week. But then there's also the new Ethan Coen movie, Honey Don't, with Margaret Qualley and Chris Evans.
That looks good.
That looked pretty interesting. I hope it is. I do hope it is better than Ethan Coen's last film, Drive Away Dolls. Like that's the only thing I ask for.
Got Margaret Qualley, so you know it's going to be good.
Not always, because I mean, I didn't think. I mean, even though she had like a smaller part in Kinds of Kindness, I didn't really like that movie all that much.
I'm not a big what's his name? Yorgos
Lanthimos.
I thought Poor Things was a very unique movie. I think that's probably the only movie of his I enjoy, and I like movies that have ambiguity and like can be art housey, but his movies are just kind of too much to the point where there's not really much of an entertainment value, if you know what I mean.
Kind of like art housey.
Like they're artsy kind of movies.
Oh no, but here's the thing though, I really do like art house movies, but when there's a purpose to it. I'm sick and tired of pretentious art house films that are just weird for the sake of being weird, like Yorgo and Lars von Trier movies.
Lars von Trier is a director I could never get into. Like I watched Melancholia and The House That Jack Built, and I'm like, no.
Oh god, or Nymphomaniac.
I was just after like those two films, House That Jack Built, Melancholia, and I was like, I'm good.
Or there's this one Antichrist where like it's Willem Dafoe and his wife and their son dies and they're trying to like recover from it, but it's like some weird abstract acid trip and we have to see Willem Dafoe's dick. Like who said I wanted to see Willem Dafoe's dick?
I know, right? But
But yeah,
also, like people could say that about Wes Anderson, and I would actually disagree with you on that. He makes weird movies, yes, but he doesn't do that for the sake of being weird. It's his style, for
exactly. There's
one.
a
And secondly, how do I say it this way? He's not trying to be like overly artsy with his movies. Like the way he kind of does a lot more of his films is like, is not really like, because, like sex scenes or anything like that. A lot of like dialogue exchanges.
well, his dialogue exchange, even though like it's kind of old fashioned type of stuff, it still feels like natural dialogue. But like when you watch a movie like what was the one I was thinking of? The one that Yorgo did, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I remember I watched that movie. You know, Nicole. I mean, what'd you have? You had Nicole Kidman, Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan, Sonny Soljic, coming from right off his fame from the movie that Jonah Hill did mid '90s, and it was such a weird fucking movie. Like the story, I had no idea where the hell it was going. There was this whole thing where Barry Keoghan was able to tell Colin Farrell when his children are gonna die, and then they get sick. And then there's a scene where Colin Farrell is asking Sonny Soljic if he's masturbating properly. Like, what kind of world is this?
Yeah, like that was like what?
Yeah, I couldn't get into that movie.
I mean, I love Yorgos, but at the same time, like I'm kind of starting to fall a little off track after Kinds of Kindness. But like Wes Anderson is like, yes, he only honestly to me, every single film I've seen of his, except for one, all of them I've either really enjoyed or absolutely loved. The only one I do not like was Life Aquatic, and that was like, I honestly thought that film was boring.
Okay, like, fair enough.
VFG says, "Who said you didn't want to see Defoe's dick?"
Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. But yeah, I wanted to mainly point out both Honey Don't and Phoenician Scheme because, but if you couldn't tell already, Phoenician Scheme is the one I'm looking forward to the most because I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, and it really seems like I see like some of these comments like revolving like whenever like I watch the trailers, because sometimes I like watch the trailers a bit too many times because I'm just that excited.
Just that excited for it.
But here's the I've seen some people say that Wes Anderson always seems to outdo himself whenever it comes to like his style of like comedy. And also like with the sets and everything. You may think that they look you may think that they look incredibly fake. They're still shot on somewhat real locations. But it's like very like old-fashioned kind of production.
It definitely reminds me of like early 1940s, 1950s movies where when you watch them, you can easily tell that it was filmed on a soundstage, but it's still charming because of the blood and sweat that it really took to building those sets. Where nowadays we take advantage of, let's just CGI this, let's just CGI that, let's do a green screen, which is also one of the best reasons why I'm very excited for Superman, because they only used CGI when, of course, they had to. But Wes Anderson is just one of those directors that, even though like his movies always have the same style and they usually feel exactly the same, there's always something to be said about them.
That and yes, they might have the same style and same kind of thing, but each one of them feels different from each other. Like so there's always something different whenever you watch a Wes Anderson film. Might be the same style, yes. There's something different that happens in each and every single one of them.
Exactly.
So, like, you can definitely tell when you hear this little dialogue exchange. Like, you can definitely tell it's a Wes Anderson movie where it's like, "Why are you shooting my ceiling? This is a robbery on behalf of." I understand that. I'm asking about my ceiling. You idiots are destroying a magnificent nightclub. Like that definitely is Wes Anderson right there. The funniest thing about that though is that Matthew Amalric, I think that's how you say his name, was more concerned about his ceiling rather than the robbery. That's the funniest part. He was more concerned about his ceiling. than the robbery that was happening in the nightclub.
He has Wes Anderson. I mean, a lot because the humor is not necessarily burst out, laugh out loud humor. It's very dry, like charming humor. But that's why I like it.
But that's what makes it. But that's what I was saying though. That's what makes it funny. So I don't know what that says about me, but anyways, we've been going on for this a little bit too long. So let's go ahead and move on because we need to get through. We really need to get through these topics.
Yes, let's do it.
So now it's official that the Michael Jackson music biopic, directed by Antoine Fuqua, is going to be split into 2 parts.
Yep.
What?
It is now confirmed.
It is now confirmed.
It's that long?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Jackson lived that much of an interesting life, apparently.
Oh, so did Elvis, but I mean, we were able to watch his in a 2-hour, 30-minute movie.
Robbie Williams did too, and we were able to watch that in a 2-hour and 15-minute movie.
Well, I guess the difference is with Elvis is like, he died at a very young age. Michael was able to, Michael was still kind of young when he passed away, but Michael was famous right from childhood, unlike Elvis, where he didn't get famous till his 20s. So there's a lot more to explore with Michael, but they don't have to show everything.
Right. And plus, another thing, I'm also bringing up on Better Man. I'm not trying to, make like a huge contrast right here.
Yeah.
But you want to know how old Robbie Williams? Do you want to know how old Robbie Williams was when he actually got into the boy band?
Well, he was like 14 or 15, wasn't he?
He was only 15 years old, and that is like a huge rise to fame.
Michael Jackson was 6.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like people like around like those around that age group, and they rise to fame like that. It's crazy.
It's insane.
So, anyways, coming to us from Deadline, it says Michael Jackson biopic returning to production as Lionsgate mulls splitting pick into 2. So
I don't know how. I mean, without going on too much of it, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think they could easily make a version where they don't cut everything, but they can still make a decent movie, or do you actually think it is smart to split it up in 2?
I think it's smart to split up in 2.
But that's going to be interesting because it's almost kind of like when they made Deathly Hallows. For Harry Potter, they made Catching Fire. Then we had to wait till part 2, but then people got to wait for the second movie. Like, oh my god, I want to see what happens to Michael. Like, what happened to Michael? Like, it's we already know what happened.
Or to bring up another good example with Mission Impossible, where it's like you want to figure out like how are they going to stop Gabriel? How are they going to destroy this AI? Like by the time the Dead Reckoning wraps up, because it does end on a cliffhanger. But it also ends in a way where it doesn't actually feel like a cliffhanger. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to give off a good example because originally, remember, people, that Dead Reckoning was originally marketed as Dead Reckoning Part 1. You got to remember that.
Exactly.
They left it off on a pretty big cliffhanger. So it says it's supposed to be released on Lionsgate will announce a new release date in the near future. The most recent one being October 3rd this year. CEO John Feldheimer on yesterday's earnings call said that Michael's movie would boast a strong official 2027 slate, but however, that could also conceivably mean that part 1 of the epic could open up sometime in the calendar year 2026. Lionsgate, VFG says Lionsgate praying for $1 billion. I don't know if I'd say that, honestly. I mean,
well, they aren't doing good. They aren't doing good, box office wise.
The only film of this year that I honestly really could see them, unless they come out with another huge smash hit, somehow, the only film I could even see them making more money is Ballerina.
That'll be the only good thing for them.
You really think Ballerina can make $1 billion?
I don't think I'm not saying $1 billion, but making money for them because they've been going through a lot of flops as of recently. Borderlands, The Crow, Flight Risk was a bomb.
Y'all need a pilot.
Shut up.
Which that film is now on Stars, so I'll probably give it a watch at some point.
Just don't, please.
People,
just to laugh at it.
Smart people have HBO, not stars.
Ah, you got it. Hey man, give me a fist bump.
Ah.
Yeah.
We got stars in no time.
It says, well, Lionsgate didn't have a statement about the additional shooting days. Aside from Michael currently being well over 3.5 hours in its first cut,
wow.
The need for further production on the pig also stems from landing its third act. Michael's finale reportedly and originally featured a Jackson accuser, whose settlement with the singer's estate guaranteed they would never be dramatized. The Michael Jackson estate, when greenlighting the movie, overlooked the detail.
Yeah, that was a big thing last year when they were talking about it. Because how do you mess up like that? But here's the thing though, they could easily still, because they said they didn't want to overshadow some of the controversy that happened. I personally don't believe he was guilty, but that's for a different video. But they could have easily worked around that, changed the name. I mean, that's what they do in a lot of movies where legally they can't use a person's name, so they have to change the name. There's a way they could have easily did that. They don't have to completely disregard that part of the story, but I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair though, I don't really like. I know Michael Jackson was surrounded by like a lot of controversy in his career, but like I don't know like the full on like drama of like what happened in his life.
Exactly.
So maybe with that could actually like teach me something, because the one thing that I think a lot of music biopics have been struggling with, I said this numerous times, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I think Better Man corrected that mistake. You don't feel like you're actually like learning about the person and like the struggles that they've had to overcome, like during their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think Better Man wrote that wrong because of the fact that you actually like learned about Robbie and also learned that his struggles, like being a substance abuser.
Yep, exactly.
So, and also when he initially ruined his relationship with Nicole Appleton. Like, just trying to give you guys a little bit of context on that. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm sorry. It's just,
and it was done good.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. It was actually done by people that actually felt like they knew Robbie, but also at the same time, it helped that Robbie was an executive producer
and played himself too.
Exactly. So
he did like the vocals and the narration.
He like a lot of the stuff that they did for like the concert scenes, especially, were a lot of like recordings of his music.
Yeah.
Like especially like when it gets to the Nebworth concert scene, like towards the third act. It actually was a recording from the Nebworth concert back in 2003.
Yeah.
And the ending was the My Way performance at the Royal Albert Hall, but that was back in 2001. So I think they kind of switched that up just a little. They could have switched that up just a little bit, but I don't know. They got a little bit weird with the timelines there for some reason. Now that I think about it.
Well, VFG, he said, "Isn't it crazy that one mistake tanked the whole film? That is amazing. Better Man is an amazing film. And it was only one mistake that people didn't go see the movie." Well,
I mean, at least I had an excuse for why I couldn't, since I couldn't go anywhere to see it. So at least I have an excuse for it. But
yeah, and also Paramount pulled the film.
Yep. But hey, it is what it is. But anyways, let's go and but yeah, how does the people in the chat, if you guys are watching, how do you guys feel about this? The Michael Jackson biopic being split into 2 parts. Please let us know.
I think it's a good idea.
So we'll see.
It's going to tell the whole story of Jackson's life, of Michael's life.
Let's just hope they show the Pepsi commercial.
Oh, without doubt they will.
Oh yeah, they will for sure.
They did that in the I think in the Michael Jackson TV movie.
I do remember that, like that 5-hour movie that was all about the Jacksons. I remember that.
Yeah, I never watched it though, considering it was that long.
Crazy.
I think it was like a mini series, like kind of like what they did with it. Like it was like the first hour was specifically about the Jacksons,
yeah, it was called,
how they were and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was called The Jacksons: An American Dream.
Yeah, it's a long movie, but I would say that's probably the closest that you'll get to seeing Michael's full story. But I like Antoine Fuqua. Michael is one of my favorite artists of all time, top 5. So fingers crossed.
And yeah, you're right.
I don't want them to screw this up.
And Michael Jackson and America, the Jacksons and American Dream was a miniseries. It was a 5-hour epic miniseries.
There you go.
What's our next one that we are going off, Mr. Ponto?
Let's go off with this. Alex Garland to direct an Elden Ring movie for A24.
Oh.
So
I never played Elden Ring, so
I don't think I never did either.
I have. It's part. I can't remember the name of the video game series it's part of. Michael, what is it? It's like part of a video game series. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay, I can't remember.
I know it's a popular series, but Elden Ring lately has been like crazy. My friend is a huge Elden Ring fan. My baby mama actually bought it for me one time because she thought it would be something I liked, and I played it.
No, it's actually based on its own property.
Okay, I couldn't really get into it, unfortunately. I mean, I like fantasy stuff, but when it comes to fantasy games, I just stick to like God of War or like Skyrim or something. Which why haven't we got a Skyrim movie? Let's just talk about that. No, I'm kidding. But no, I don't. I only played Elden Ring for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, so I know nothing about Elden Ring, but here's what they need to do with it, but that doesn't matter though. What they need to do for a video game movie is they can satisfy the fans, but they have to make the movie good on itself. Like Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Never played D&D before. I really liked Honor Among Thieves. I did.
Me too.
That's what they need to do.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, from A24 and Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Yep, it says Alex Garland will direct a live action film adaptation of video game Elden Ring. This is pretty interesting right here. Again, I have not played the Elden Ring game. Yep, but I mean Alex Garland. I mean, there's really no, you don't really need to give an introduction to Alex Garland because he is honestly one of my favorite filmmakers.
I loved Warfare. I think it's on my list of favorite films of the year.
Same here for me.
Warfare was really great. I did like Civil War. I was not a fan of the movie Men. That was probably my least favorite movie he did.
It's my least favorite too, but I honestly really like that movie. But I get why. I get why some people wouldn't like it. I get that.
Yeah, definitely. But no, Civil War was really good.
Civil War is great. Ex Machina, his first one that he directed.
I like Ex Machina.
Love Ex Machina.
How about Annihilation?
Annihilation is fantastic, especially that scene with the bear.
Oh, that is such an underrated movie. If that movie would have came out in the 80s, it would be considered a sci-fi horror classic.
Oh yeah,
which it kind of is now.
Yeah,
I think Alex Garland's like the king of A24.
He pretty much is to be. He pretty much is to be fair.
Was Annihilation A24?
That was a Paramount release, actually.
Oh, I was gonna say because that's if that was the case, then because I think Civil War is probably A24's like most mainstream movie.
I'd honestly say that Y2K is A24's most mainstream movie. To be fair, honestly.
Fair enough, yeah, because it's very rare for A24 to like tackle like action movies or like comedies or something. It's always just been kind of either art house dramas or art house horror movies. They've always kind of had like a formula. So to see them actually with Alex Garland doing a video game adaptation, that's interesting.
And just please, for the love of God, again, I don't know anything about the game. I've never played the game. Just follow the story of the fucking game.
It's not that hard.
Because
Combat did it.
I mean, well, the original?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, the original actually followed the story of the game. Well, to be fair though, there's with Mortal Kombat, like in general, there really is no story. It's a bunch of like tournament fights.
I mean, there's somewhat of a story, but it's not like massive enough to turn it into a full narrative film.
2021 film is like a build up towards the tournament, which we'll get in the sequel,
which I'm really much so looking forward to. But I'm trying to think of like other like video game movies that actually or just video game adaptations that actually follow the story, because the most obvious one you can think of is The Last of Us.
Yes. Yes, but it's still a form of media. Resident Evil. I'm kidding. I'm very excited.
I will say this. I'll say this for Resident Evil: the second film, Apocalypse, and also Welcome to Raccoon City, are the closest to the games.
Oh yes.
Like, but to be fair, I'm not one of. I've never played the games. I've seen a lot of gameplay of Resident Evil, but I've never actually played the games. So at least I have some knowledge of it since I've seen a lot of gameplay of Resident Evil. But so that's why I think that a lot of the story beats they tackled in Welcome to Raccoon City, even though they tackled like the first 2 games in one movie,
exactly,
it was a lot more accurate to the game. Which, like I said, a lot of video game movies have really been struggling with. Like they really need to follow the story of the games.
Well, Uncharted did follow aspects of the games. The problem with the Uncharted movie is that it tried to take all 4 games and put it into one movie, which was a huge mistake. I know that movie has its fans. I don't think it's a horrible movie, but they really needed to take, because the Uncharted movie opens up with a flashback that's seen in the 4th game, and then we get introduced to Nathan Drake, where he's a teenager or something working at a bar, which is what it was in the 3rd game. But then like he meets Sully, and then it was just a mixed bag. Like I said, I know a lot of people do like Uncharted, but I think they just really need to focus on one thing when it comes to video game adaptations. Assassin's Creed, I'm not even going to talk about. Fuck that movie. I own it, but fuck that movie.
I do too, but I think like the closest one, at least to me, that actually like it definitely included elements from some of the other games, but I think was honestly the closest when it actually came to developing the story, at least to me, was Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, it actually felt like that was the closest one to me. Like, that actually felt most faithful to the game.
I enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sorry, I enjoyed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because of how accurate a lot of the lore is, like, to the game, especially with how they talk about like the disappearing children.
Yes.
Like that kind of stuff. Like that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, because they really did follow a lot of the lore, but they didn't bring in Springtrap until Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and they introduced him in the first movie.
Which I think for the movie adaptation, it works, honestly, for like how they wrote it. Because, obviously things can work in a video game, but when you put them into a TV show, sometimes you have to know what works. It's kind of like in The Last of Us, where when Joel gets injured in the video game, he falls like 2 stories from a building and then lands on like a giant metal bar sticking out, which punctures his stomach. That works for a video game, but if that happened in real life, I'm sorry, I don't care how big you are, you're going to die from that. You're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. So I think, like, for the Five Nights at Freddy's one, it works, which I'm actually excited for the second one a lot.
Really, I'm really excited for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I know the second game was technically a prequel, but it kind of feels like they're going like the sequel route with the second one for sure.
Yeah, which I don't mind, but I'm also curious, like, if it's supposed to be the same exact cast, are they stupid to actually go back there, or are they going to give us a good reason, like in Jurassic Park 2, where we kept thinking before we saw Jurassic Park 2, why the fuck would they go back to the park? But then they actually gave like a compelling reason why they did.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. So again, we'll find out what happens. But if we're talking like most loyal, like, video game adaptations, where it's like Like it actually felt like it was made by the fans, like by fans of the game. Is the Super Mario Brothers movie?
That was a good one.
Like that actually felt like it was made by fans of the video game.
I can't wait for Super Mario World.
Yep. And of course, I would honestly say that all three Sonic movies actually felt like they kind of represented the games.
Yeah.
Especially the second one.
I think the second one was honestly the closest.
I mean, so the plane scene is literally a level in the game.
Exactly. So 2 was the closest for representing the games, but that doesn't mean that it's the best one.
No.
So because I think did you see Sonic 3, Michael?
I did, yes. I loved Sonic 3. I didn't review it, but I loved Sonic 3.
It's the best of the films.
It is the best of the 3. No question about it. It is the best one. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our next one, which... So if you guys are familiar with boutique label for physical media, Arrow Video, they teased a physical release for the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo.
So we're gonna get into that.
Yeah. Here is
So I have a couple of Arrow Video titles. I don't have a lot. I have a couple though. Like I got True Romance. I got Weird Science. Bride of Reanimator. Pulse. To clarify, the Kiyoshi Kurosawa movie Pulse. Trying to see what other ones I have here because again I don't have that many Arrow Video titles.
I'm looking right now as we're speaking. I
have Children of the Corn, the original Children of the Corn.
Ooh, good one.
I never seen the original Children of the Corn.
I do. Okay, so I have you'll like this one, Luke. I got Hellraiser, the original.
I have the where the fuck is that? I have this version right here of Hellraiser.
Okay, let me take a look real quick. I'm gonna zoom through it. Here we go.
For Arrow, I have Legend.
Ooh, Legend with Tim Curry and Tom Cruise and Liam Neeson.
Yep. I have RoboCop.
I have RoboCop too.
I have The Warriors.
That's another one. I do have The Warriors.
Here we go. I got Audition.
I have Black Sunday.
Black Sunday.
I have the last Starfighter.
Okay,
Michael, I got another one for you, dude.
Oh yeah.
I also have Basket Case on Arrow.
I have Basket Case as well. I love Basket Case. I got Donnie Darko 4K.
I have the Blu-ray for Donnie Darko.
I watched that movie. Like when I saw it years ago, it was very slow pace.
It is.
It's one that you It's one that you really got to think about carefully while you watch it. Like you can't overthink it.
I thought it was okay. I didn't love it though.
Here's a good one. I got Flatliners, the original one.
I need to get that.
Michael, you actually want to know something about me with that movie?
What's that?
That's actually one of my favorites. Is the original Flatliners?
It's good. It's good. I mean,
that's actually one of my favorites.
Here's a good one. I got
about the remake, which it deserves to be forgotten.
I got Dario Argento's Deep Red because I'm a big Argento fan. I got
Michael, I'm just gonna say this.
I have Flash Gordon as well.
I don't got that one, but I was gonna say you're probably gonna hate me for this, man. I did not like Deep Red.
What about Suspiria?
Love Suspiria, but besides the Stendhal syndrome, I have not liked any Giallo film I've seen besides Suspiria and Stendhal syndrome. That's it. I've only liked those two movies.
Well, you know what? That's fair. Honestly, Giallo films are like very subjective, honestly, and very.
I'll give you a couple examples. Like I watched another Dario Argento film, Tenebrae. That movie just gave me a migraine. Yeah, like that movie, Tenebrae just gave me a fucking migraine.
I understand. No worries.
And Deep Red, I thought Deep Red was just fucking boring.
Fair enough.
And another one, The Beyond. Have you seen The Beyond?
I actually do not have The Beyond.
No, I was saying, have you seen it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen The Beyond.
Not for me.
Okay, fair enough.
But again, but if I said I didn't love Suspiria, though, people would murder me.
Oh, here's Hellraiser.
Like I was saying, because I love the original Suspiria. But yeah, Hellraiser, my favorite horror film of all time.
Let's keep going. Wes Craven's first movie, also one of the most disturbing films ever made, Last House on the Left.
The remake is honestly crazier, in my opinion.
Aaron Paul is awesome in that movie. This is a good one, Lords of Chaos. This is actually based on a true story. Don't want to say what it is, but it's a pretty crazy one. Do you guys have any Blu-rays from Umbrella?
I actually have one actually.
I have only one Umbrella title. And
Which one?
And that's the complete series of Amazing Stories.
Okay, cool.
Original.
Okay, I actually have two, but I'm not gonna go get the other one.
Okay.
Because the other one, I know this guy right here would probably give me a middle finger for it. Because it's the 1993 Super Mario Brothers.
Michael, shut up. It's a great movie.
I only have that one for nostalgia purposes because that movie, as bad as it is, I actually kind of enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, it's a fun movie. Just because a movie's awful doesn't mean it's not fun. But then of course there's going to be awful, boring movies. But Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I don't trust any of you guys if you don't like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Here's the one that I was actually going to show off right here, which is Lord of Illusions.
Ooh, that Clive Barker, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but shout out to my grandparents on my dad's side. They actually gave this to me for Christmas. So.
That's a good one, dude.
You know, a funny thing I was gonna say. I'd rather watch Terminal the Board over Super Mario Brothers.
Fuck off, dude.
All right,
that's enough.
Here's one Umbrella. I got Bully. That's a good one. That's a Larry Clark film. And then I got this one, which you guys might have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, then I guarantee you guys have absolutely heard of it. It's a really disturbing movie. It's called Martyrs.
I've heard of Martyrs.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that, but
it's disgusting.
But I don't think we really need to pull up the video because I don't really want to get copyright for it.
No, it won't be copyrighted though.
Are you sure?
Definitely sure. Because there's no footage. There's no footage.
Oh, okay. You better be damn sure then.
Okay, I'm just because if you get me copyright, if you get me copyright, it's your ass.
So here's the teaser.
All right. Might want to turn off the music so again.
Yeah.
Copyright issues.
Coming soon.
Oh.
There we it just says that. Wow. Wow.
I think I know there is like a law, like a law on YouTube when it comes to like videos and stuff because I've seen like do you guys ever watch like videos where like people react to movies for the first time? It'll show like 3 seconds of the movie, it goes back to them, then they show another 3 seconds of the movie. That's kind of how like they always get around that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I know watching reaction videos can be stupid, but there's something magical about like seeing people react to like Shawshank Redemption for the first time. Because I'm one of those guys where like whenever somebody hasn't seen a movie, I always want to show them so they can experience it and I can see their experience. And it's just interesting to watch a lot of those reaction videos and seeing people experience like The Sixth Sense, The Shawshank Redemption for the first time. Like when I showed my brother The Sixth Sense and when my brother found out the plot twist, like whenever my brother watches movies, he just sits on the couch like this. Not that he's bored, he's just kind of like, yeah. And then this was him when he found out Bruce Willis was dead in The Sixth Sense. He was dead the whole time,
and that's shocking. I never watched The Sixth Sense.
Of course you didn't.
Well,
I'm not shocked.
Well, did you already know the spoiler beforehand though?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess I don't feel bad. Well, Michael, go fuck yourself. Anyways, let's talk about Arrow. TNT.
O Wrestler says Italian horror stinks.
I think it just depends on what it is. Like right, again, it just depends on your cup of tea.
That's true. Let's go and talk about this Arrow TMNT release because that excites me.
I honestly want it to be like a cool looking box set for sure.
I want it to be a special edition. Give us some features because the Blu-ray and the old DVD did not even have any features. I know
I'm saying like a cool box set, you know, something like freaking what is it? True Romance. Like something like True Romance.
How about they do this, but they literally have the box set shaped as a turtle shell.
Or shaped as a pizza box.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
That would make more sense because it's a box. Fuck it. Why not?
I know, right, dude? That's a good way to think about it.
Wise guy once says, "Never pay full price for late pizza."
That's one of my favorite scenes.
Yes, sir. So
and,
this is cool.
Say, like there was a I guess a DVD overseas of the film, and it had like a commentary with Steve Barron, the director. There was like a alternate ending I heard where April O'Neil's trying to sell I guess like a drawing of the turtles and turn them into a comic.
That's like an alternate ending or something.
Yeah.
Can you watch the alternate ending on YouTube, or is it just a word of mouth?
I'm not too sure though.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all I just heard was there was a scene like that.
Yeah. But
yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
Okay, I'll have to check that out after we're done with this stream.
It's called Deleted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Deleted Alternate Scene Original Ending Comic Book. TMSFilm.net. So that's your original alternate ending of the film, where April O'Neil and Danny in the film, they pitch the idea of the Ninja Turtles as a comic.
Well, before we continue on talking about the Blu-ray, let's do a little quiz here, guys. What famous Oscar-winning actor had his debut in the TMNT movie? He's in the movie for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, but he's one of the most famous actors in history. He's an Oscar winner, and he's incredible.
Oh, I know. That is Sam Rockwell.
That's right. Oh, Luke,
your mic's out. Yeah, Sam Rockwell. He played one of the gang members.
That's right. He for like 10 seconds. They said, "You got any cigarettes?" And he's like, "Menthol or regular?"
No, he's
menthol or regular.
He's also in the scene where April O'Neil's walking home and he's like going somewhere.
I'm pretty sure. Well, what year did The Green Mile come out?
99.
99, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was 90s because 99 is where like Sam Rockwell like became like mainstream, like when he started to get recognized. That was the movie that really changed his life.
Galaxy Quest, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's right. I love Sam Rockwell, but anyways, what's like other than like maybe the look of the box? What would you say is like the one thing that you guys are excited most about this? Because I don't own the Blu-ray, so I don't know if they're
Blu-ray as well.
I don't know if they had any crazy special features on there, but is there anything like really cool that you were expecting for this release?
Yeah, the Blu-ray had nothing.
They usually don't.
Which is
like the original DVD.
Yeah.
So what are you guys hoping for this then?
A lot of features, some commentary, some behind the scenes stuff. Hopefully they do a set where it has the first movie, the second film, which I love, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
I do. Oh, I do too.
It's a good one.
I love Ernie Reyes Jr.
I would only get it for those Bird movie. Their movie's absolutely.
Well, here's what I want them to do. And usually I'm always against like whenever like movies try to remaster stuff, like maybe like an arm was in the background and they take that out. I feel like that just kind of adds to the charm. But I feel like for this, they need to remaster this and take out all the scenes where you literally fucking see crew members and puppeteers, because that happens a lot in the original TMNT film. A lot. There's a whole 7-minute compilation of you being able to see puppeteers and crew members in the background on fucking frame.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Arrow doesn't disappoint.
They never do.
Which I still need to get the fucking Deep Blue Sea 4K Blu-ray.
I'll have to maybe next time I stop at Barnes and maybe next week if I stop at Barnes and Noble, I'll have to see what Arrow video titles they got.
Barnes and Noble. Oh, screw you, Michael. I just have the regular Blu-ray they released in 2011. But so what is it on the article? What is it saying about the Arrow release?
Nothing yet.
We haven't got anything. It was just they're teasing it.
Oh, that was just the teaser. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but just kind of exchanging what do we want to see out of this?
Yeah.
So is the way I would say it.
Hopefully, a nice transfer in 4K, digitally restored from the original negative.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Because when you watch the old DVD, and I've seen screenshots of the Blu-ray, it does not look that great. I mean, consider it was low budget, but it needs a new scan. The film needs a new scan.
For sure. Right with you. So, all right, let's go ahead and
is good. Never disappoints.
Never do. All right, let's go ahead and move into our next topic.
Let's do it.
So because it's already the end of May, we're going to talk about the upcoming movies that are being released in June. And it is going to be a pretty big month for movies. Because we're getting the really we're kicking off the summer movie season right here.
Yeah,
we are
already we're already almost in the kickoff to the summer.
Because I can say so far for this summer movie season, like in regards to stuff that's been released, in May, it's been.
All rest was like the regular old lousy Deep Blue Sea Blu-ray. Damn, dude.
But what I was trying to say was I was saying, so far with movies being released this month has not been bad this month at all. Except for Fear Street Prom Queen, which I thought was absolute dog shit.
I joked around and said, it's absolute cinema. Then
Fight or Flight is going to be cinema compared to that. That's for damn sure.
Fair enough.
And also, Michael, to note you in on this, after we're done here tonight, I am actually going to be watching Fight or Flight.
I really do want to see it. I mean, a lot of people are saying that it's really fun and it's good, and I'm excited for Josh Hartnett.
I mean, and also, from what I know, Josh Hartnett did all of his own stunts for that movie.
I believe it.
So props to Josh Hartnett.
But let's take a look and see what we got for June here. So even though, I know it says May 30th Phoenician Scheme, it gets a wide release next week. So, to be fair. Anyways, so kicking off June will be Ballerina, the new John Wick spinoff starring Ana de Armas.
Good, excited for that.
Very, very excited. I mean, Len Wiseman going to take this one on? Come on. And then we got Predator Killer of Killers, which is going to premiere on Hulu from the director of Prey, which is awesome. And then we got Mike Flanagan's new film, The Life of Chuck, which I am really looking forward to. I think, let's be honest, guys. Does Life of Chuck honestly scream, awards talk?
I don't know, because I've never seen the trailer.
Michael, what do you think, man?
I haven't seen the trailer. So what is it a comedy or what is it?
It's actually a science fiction drama from director Mike Flanagan.
Based on the novel by Stephen King.
Well, that interests me too because Mike Flanagan has never done anything outside of the horror genre. He's usually stuck to his formula. So it'll be interesting to kind of see him move on from that because I wouldn't really say he has ever made a bad movie.
It's got a good cast: Tom Hiddleston, Jacob Tremblay,
Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan.
Good boys.
Yep, Karen Gillan. You got Matthew Lillard, Mark Hamill.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yep, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah, I said that. I'm can you say Nick Offerman's going to be in it? David Dastmalchian.
Ooh,
Coley from iZombie.
There you go. Got a lot of great people in this.
Heather Lettenkamp.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, wait, Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street's gonna be in this? Fuck yeah!
That sounds like a hell of a. I wonder. So now I'm curious on what this is gonna be. And speaking of Mike Flanagan,
and I just saw this really quick. Michael, if you look really closely to the screen here, Lauren Lavera as an Italian reporter.
Oh, so it seems like Mike Flanagan's just going. I really hope for this. Is this Neon? Is this a Neon release?
Yes.
This is Neon, yes.
Okay, I really do hope, and they kept changing the release dates for this movie. There's a release date for October 3rd. I really do hope, since Mike Flanagan is producing this movie and it's Neon, we finally get to see a fucking trailer for Shelby Oaks.
Probably. But also, one thing I want to say about Life of Chuck, I think it's getting its limited release next week, and then the week after, which we're going to get into right now, it'll expand to more theaters. So, which let's go ahead and get into June 13th. We got a big one. How to Train Your Dragon.
Looking forward to it.
I'm excited for it too. I'm a little nervous, but I'm still really looking forward to it. And then we also got what?
Do you guys think it's too early? I mean, it's already over because the movie's coming out pretty soon. Do you guys think it was too early to make a remake of How to Train Your Dragon, or do you guys think it was just unnecessary?
I think they honestly, I mean, this wasn't necessary, but from the trailers, I'm going to say this right now, from the trailers, I think they got it.
I think like obviously this is DreamWorks' very first time doing a live action remake of one of their animated films. Because when you look at Disney live action remakes, like did you guys see Lilo and Stitch? I thought it was fine.
He did.
I did.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was terrible. Of course, the original is going to be way better. But I think the problem with these live action remakes of animated films is that those movies specifically work as animated films. So when you put it in live action form, sometimes it just doesn't work well. But for How to Train Your Dragon, you can easily do How to Train Your Dragon as a live action form without worrying about, oh, this is animated, it wouldn't work. How to Train Your Dragon absolutely works.
DFG says it's not a remake.
Who?
How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, it is a remake.
It is. It's not a sequel.
Because this is exactly the same thing. Like, this is exactly the same movie from the looks of it.
Gotta love Gerard Butler coming
live
back.
Action remake.
Yeah, live action remake. Anyways, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one.
If this does good, hopefully it's the last of the live action DreamWorks, because I wouldn't see them doing, of course, Megamind live action. Can you imagine that?
Oh my god,
that would look horrendous. But it looks like that they have confidence in this, that they already like announced a sequel for this.
Michael, I said to Luke one time, imagine if they do a live action Megamind, it would be directed by Sean McNamara.
that would be horrendous.
He's probably made one or two good movies in his whole career, but besides,
I'll actually tell you. Want to know the only good film that Sean McNamara has even made?
What's that?
Soul Surfer.
There's one that you guys should check out. It's kind of hard to find on like DVD and Blu-ray, but you can find it on streaming probably. It's a movie that was based on a true story of an actual event that happened in my state. It's called Spare Parts with George Lopez, and it's a true
story. I did see that one.
That's a good one, actually.
I watched that one actually. I think when I was in I think I was a junior in high school by then.
2015 is when it came out.
But yeah, I mean, but I saw it when I was a junior in high school. I think like one of my science teachers, we watched that. That like okay, so like I'll actually take that back. That's his other good film was that one. Everything else, he is a horrible director.
He is, dude. He's not. He's just so bland.
Like
Reagan was so fucking horrible.
Like it actually was pretty offensive to Ronald Reagan's legacy.
Yes.
On a Wing and a Prayer had its heart in the right place, but that movie's pretty fucking awful. Another one with Dennis Quaid. I mean, Cats and Dogs 3, direct-to-video Baby Geniuses sequels. I'll actually say the Sweet Life movie that he did for Disney Channel was actually not terrible. Like, that was all right. But again, it could have been a lot better given like how popular the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck was on Disney Channel. Like those were like hits. And then of course the fucking Bratz movie. Get that out of my Ugh.
Oh my god, he directed the Bratz movie?
Mm-hmm.
The live action one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid seeing the fucking trailer for that movie on TV more times than I can count.
Yeah, that movie is awful
That's
in
Michael's
every
favorite
way.
movie. That's Michael's favorite movie.
Yeah.
I never
He
seen
will.
it.
Well, actually, you saved yourself some time. Anyways,
I was gonna say
let's move on.
Cinema.
Yeah. Anyways, let's just go and move on. But also, we got another A24 film in here, Materialists, with Dakota Johnson.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I saw the trailer for that one. It's basically like Challengers, but more like in the business game.
Yeah, I did see the trailer for this one.
This is Celine Song's sophomore effort after the excellent movie that was Past Lives back in 2023. This will be interesting. I'm gonna think of this one as basically Challengers, but in the business game. Not really like in the tennis fashion. Like
Pedro Pascal, he's everywhere now.
Dude, Pedro Pascal is. It's like you watch a movie and then you see him in there, and it's like, dude, like you got a really fucking busy schedule, bro.
Yeah, you watch him in a movie, and then you watch him in The Last of Us.
You see him in Gladiator 2, like you see him in the freaking, like he's in The Wild Robot, dude, for a couple minutes he's in Drive Away Dolls.
You really got to give like a lot of praise. I mean, from Pedro Pascal acting since the late 90s and mostly just getting background roles or like small roles in TV shows like NYPD Blue, it is really inspirational on how he's acting for a long time and it takes him 20 years just to get that A-list level where it took Ben Affleck and Matt Damon one fucking movie just to reach that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
I love Pedro, man. I love that man.
Yeah, I mean, can't really go wrong with him. But yeah, let's see. Diablo, don't know what that is. I saw the Unholy Trinity. I actually saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
I was like, it looks fine, I guess, but it looks incredibly generic.
It's a Western. And Westerns are my least favorite genre.
Are you guys, speaking of Westerns, I needed to ask you guys this question real quick because I think the movie's coming out very soon. Are you guys excited at all, despite the controversy, for the movie Rust?
I have not heard of that.
That's the Alec Baldwin movie where like the photographer got shot.
Oh, that movie. That was the one. Okay, yeah, but I haven't heard anything about it. So
yeah, well, unfortunately, the movie's just overshadowed because of the controversy. But I'm interested to see it. There's actually an actor that's in the movie who's in like a 5-minute scene who's actually going to be in Michael Ennedy's next movie.
Let's go, brother.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And again, also I want to say really quick to congratulate everyone that's in the comments. Congratulate Mr. Entity on his feature film Dark Cherry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had to at least congratulate you like on a live stream, bro. I had to.
Is it on Blu-ray already?
Yeah, well, not for sale yet, but I will be sending out the Blu-rays I'm going to be handing out 5 Blu-rays at the film premiere as kind of like a raffle, and then I'm going to be sending 2 Blu-rays to 2 gentlemen that I like. One of them I like, and one of them I fucking loathe.
Loathe entirely.
Yes, but it is going to be on Blu-ray. I just realized since like I created these Blu-rays, now I actually have the ability to just make my own custom Blu-rays. I mean, look at this, dude. It looks fucking real.
There, I'll actually zoom that in for you.
Oh yeah. Dark Cherry. There's no barcode to sell, so you can easily tell that this was made customly.
Yep.
And
very much custom.
And it says not rated because legally you cannot rate your own movie without approval of the Motion Picture Association. Otherwise, you will get into some serious trouble. So that's a little life lesson for you youngins.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah,
but anyways, let's anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next week here.
Let's do it.
Because dude, we got a big one. 28 years later, baby.
God.
This is a big one, dude. I will say, honestly, That's honestly my most anticipated film coming out of June is 28 Years Later.
Michael, you haven't seen any of the movies yet, have you?
No.
Okay, I think you would really like. Do you like zombie movies?
Yeah, I like Zombieland.
Okay, I think you would really like 28 Days Later and 28 Years Later, which some people
28
don't like.
weeks later.
28 weeks later. Why the fuck did I say that?
No, you're fine, dude.
But Jacob seems to love 28 Weeks Later more than the first one. Fair enough. But the original one is like very well made. I mean, it was made with like a really cheap digital camera. But no, it's a good one.
28 Days Later is honestly my favorite zombie movie. Like, I don't think there's a better one than that movie in my opinion. Like, honestly.
It's a good one, dude. But yeah, I think you should. But what I like about the movies though is like, even though we're only getting three, we got the third one coming out. The first and second one, even though it obviously takes place in the same universe, they're following different storylines. So you don't necessarily have to watch the original ones to enjoy the new one that's coming out. But I mean, it helps. It definitely helps.
I kind of feel like they both 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later kind of stand well on their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with Top Gun Maverick. There were a lot of people that went to go see Top Gun Maverick without watching the first one. And Top Gun Maverick stands on itself too. You actually don't have to watch the first Top Gun movie to watch the original one, but if you do watch it, you can feel a lot more emotion in that film, which I did because I watched Top Gun for the first time with my mom. And then we went to go see Top Gun Maverick, and I fucking loved Maverick. I think I've seen Top Gun Maverick like 15 fucking times.
Wow.
That's correct.
BFG says he saw 28 Days Later last week in theaters.
Lucky you, dude.
And he congratulated you, Michael.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the love. Thank you also to Luke for doing that. That really means a lot, man.
Yeah, I had to do that. And then let's see.
It's kind of weird that 28 Years Later is being released by Sony when the other two I saw were released by Fox Searchlight.
But Disney owns the rights to those two films now. So I really don't think that Disney would give Danny Boyle and Alex Garland the approval for it. In all honesty, but let's move on here. We also got Elio, Pixar's newest film. It looks cute. Honestly, it doesn't really look like anything special.
This is my most anticipated of the month.
I think Elio looks cute. Like, it looks cute. It doesn't look like anything special though for Pixar.
Yeah, I mean, how many movies can you name where a young kid becomes best friends with an alien? We get one of those like all the time.
Yeah,
exactly.
We just got a remake of one last week.
Exactly. So, but let's go to the next one here. Let's go to the next week is what I meant to say.
Yeah, nothing.
Because this is going to be an interesting double feature.
Yes.
F1 and Megan 2.0. This is going to be interesting. So I will say this. Of course I will be seeing both movies for sure. I'm seeing both F1 and Megan 2.0. But to be completely honest, I'm kind of looking forward to Megan a little bit more than F1. Because let me be clear. It's crazy to me that it's such a drastic change. From the first film.
It doesn't even look like the same freaking movie.
That's why I think it actually looks like so much fun, and it really looks like they're sustaining what it is.
I still gotta watch the first one. And
it is such a drastic change of pace here. But goddamn, it looks like so much fun.
Oh, the first one. You gotta watch the first one, dude. The first one's fucking hilarious.
And I think the sequel is going to be even funnier. And I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that in a so bad it's good way. The first Megan is honestly funny.
It is.
So VFG says Maverick was trash. The Kilmer scene was the only redeeming quality of the movie. He says Megan 2.0 looks like trash, and F1 is probably going to be a snooze fest. Gran Turismo did it better.
Well, those are two different. Well, I mean, other than racing movies, Gran Turismo was based on a true story, which I didn't know when I went to go see that.
Well, isn't F1 a true story too?
No,
it is not.
I thought it was. But
I mean, it might. It
guess
might
not.
be. It might be.
I
I'm actually not too familiar with racing. The only
like Gran
famous.
Turismo.
Well, the only famous racer I know is Frankie Muniz.
Oh man. But
That Disney Channel original movie that he did.
Miracle, isn't it Miracle in Lane 2? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is. But I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see what happens here with both of these films.
June.
But speaking of June, we're not quite done with June stuff here because we're going to this. We're going to talk some June physical media.
Yeah.
Since physical media is such a dying breed these days.
Yeah, people say it's a dying breed. It's not.
Well, that's why I'm distributing the Blu-rays myself. I am not working with any distribution companies to get this on Tubi or Amazon, which I could. Not doing it because physical media is where we fucking stand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here we go.
Hold on one minute.
Blu-ray.com courtesy.
Of course, like always. So yeah, June 3rd we got a 4K of Monkey Shines, which is a Scream Factory release.
We got
Brazil on 4K from Criterion. Also got,
which I will get.
Also When Evil Lurks on 4K, which is interesting to say the least. Freaky
Tales VHS.
A VHS for what looks like a VHS kind of style box.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it a VHS?
I don't think it's a VHS, but VHS retro packaging is what I was.
Yeah. I wish they would have went that route like they did with Y2K. A24 did.
Well, and also now with I Saw the TV Glow, they actually put out a VHS on the shop for that.
Oh, nice.
Like I'm not fucking kidding. I'm not even kidding you. I didn't buy it because I already own I Saw the TV Glow on Blu-ray, and plus that VHS was fucking $40.
Ooh.
So no. Anyways, let's move on. We got a couple of we got Swordfish, the Sean Connery Bond films coming to 4K, as well as Lord of Illusions. Also, A Working Man and Drop coming to 4K.
Drop already? Wow.
You know that Universal always pretends to put out their stuff quick, dude.
They do indeed.
Well, and also kind of the same thing with Warner Brothers, because even though A Working Man is an MGM release, it technically is still under the supervision of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Like like they did with The Beekeeper. They did that with Challengers, and more than likely that's what they're gonna do with The Accountant too. So, but here's the funny part. The first Accountant was actually released by Warner Brothers, but The Accountant 2 was released by MGM. That's kind of interesting.
The only one
but I really liked The Accountant 2.
I think the only one that I'll pick up for that week is The Wiz on 4K, because I enjoy that film.
I honestly do want you to check out Drop. Like, Drop was really solid.
It was a very fun little thriller. I mean, obviously, there are things that happen in that movie that would never happen in real life, but that's the fun of a thriller.
That was actually one of my gripes with that movie, was that it kind of gave me flashbacks of Trap in certain aspects, where it was like, okay, you're kind of just sticking to contrived bullshit here.
Yeah, like the reveal, which I won't spoil. The reveal, like, I wasn't like it was completely predictable, but it was kind of a lame reveal, but it was still fun.
I actually will say the reveal was actually kind of lame, and I called it immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as like a certain character, like the certain person that is behind it said something like it towards the beginning, I was like, okay, it's this guy. I know who it is.
Exactly.
I still really enjoyed the movie though as a whole, mainly for the performances and also the tension that was also like represented on screen here. There's some really solid tension in that movie.
It is like I think it constantly has you at the edge of your seat. And but I mean, obviously, like in real life, like if I was on a date, I don't care if I'm on a date with the sexiest woman in all the universe. If they're constantly going to the bathroom and they're checking their phone, I'm leaving.
But hey, but I'd say for what Henry did, it shows how good of a dude he is for actually like sticking through.
It's true. Yes,
it shows how good of a dude he is. And Brendan Sklenar, yeah, Brandon or Brendan, I can't remember. He was really freaking good in that movie, dude.
It was. Did you ever have a feeling that like actually no, that might be like a spoiler, so I don't want to say anything, but we'll just leave it at that.
But he was really good in that movie. But also I did pre-order the Steelbook for The Dead Zone, which is one of my favorite David Cronenberg movies. But let's go ahead and move on to the next week here.
Well, yeah, that week, like I said, probably The Wiz on Criterion will be the only thing I pick up on 4K.
I definitely will be buying Drop. I definitely will be buying that. I'm not sure what format I'm going to buy a Working Man on. I will be buying that as well.
Also, the Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, getting a 4K from Arrow.
That'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and move on.
Clash of the Titans.
I figured. Honestly, I figured that.
13th.
Jurassic Park Trilogy 4K. Jaws getting a new 4K Steelbook.
Jurassic Park Trilogy, yeah. And the Jurassic Park Steelbooks.
And also the Way of the Gun. It looks like the Way of the Gun getting a 4K Steelbook. It looks like.
Let me refresh this.
That's another. If you guys, Michael, Mr. Entity.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the Way of the Gun?
I have not actually. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about. But I've never seen it before.
Okay, I know you. Okay, so you haven't. So you said you haven't seen it before, but do you know who directed it?
I do not. I'm not looking it up. Don't worry. But no, I do not.
I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. This might actually shock you. I don't know if it will, but it might actually shock you. Christopher McQuarrie actually directed that.
Really?
Yep, the guy that did every single Mission Impossible film since Rogue Nation. He did that one.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've never even seen it before. No, I don't think I've ever heard of it. No, wait, no, I did hear of it, but like, how
so basically, it's Ryan Phillippe and Benicio del Toro doing a kidnapping on Juliette Lewis, who is a surrogate mother for a mobster. So basically those two guys take her to ransom the mob a bunch of money.
I like Juliette Lewis. I'm waiting one of these days for her to continue her very popular movies that she does. If you guys look in the 90s, for some reason, Juliette Lewis was obsessed with being in movies about killers on the road, From Dusk Till Dawn, California, and Natural Born Killers.
Which Natural Born Killers is one of my all-time favorite movies.
But what is up with that? Juliette Lewis is like, I want to be in a movie. What's the movie? It's a movie about serial killers on the loose. I'm in it. It's like she's done 3 of them.
But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next week here. Because also the next week after this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
The 50th anniversary edition is going to have a new documentary on it.
That'll be interesting. But let's we got a big week on this one for June 24th. So we have Dark City on 4K from Arrow Video, Lethal Weapon on 4K, Road Trip, Bring It On, The Peacemaker, High Society. A couple of my favorite films of the year so far, The Monkey and Novocaine, getting 4Ks.
Dark City on 4K. Okay, wow, that
from the director of one of the greatest films of all time, known as The Crow.
The Crow.
On your shirt.
You forgot one movie. You didn't mention.
I don't.
Mouse.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say for Alex Proyas. I thought you were gonna tell me to mention one of his worst.
I never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well, damn it. Now I just opened up an opportunity for Michael. Fuck.
Now let's just move on.
All right.
But regardless, Mouse Hunt, I love that movie.
It's a classic.
Yeah, let's see. Saint Elmo's Fire in there. Let's continue to go down.
Peacemaker, 4K.
Peacemaker, the Monkey, Snow White getting a 4K steelbook right here, and of course the Minecraft movie. I'm sorry, guys. I enjoy that movie. It's fun. Okay, but Mr. Entity can say that because he's actually seen it.
Well, what, the Minecraft movie?
You actually watched it, didn't you?
I did. I took my kid to it.
Look, if I were to speak on a critical standpoint, yes, I get it. It's a terrible film. But like, it's one of those films you have to shut your brain off.
Yeah, like, you can't go into a Minecraft movie going, I expected more from the movie about people building stuff out of blocks and sheep and chicken jockeys and lava chicken. I was expecting Gone with the Wind or The Godfather. Like,
you can't. If you expected that, no disrespect to you, but what did you drink before even going into the screening?
Moonshine?
Probably. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't look at the Minecraft movie with, a critical standpoint. You can't look at it that way. It's one of those films that's honestly impossible to look at a critical standpoint. Yes, there is issues with that movie, but it's one of those films when you watch it, you really have to shut your brain off.
Exactly.
What other film are you going to get where Jack Black rides on top of Jason Momoa for an electro wingsuit?
I mean,
what other movie are you going to get with that? It's hilarious. I mean, Michael, if you remember in the trailer, at the beginning of the final trailer, don't worry, I'm going to cushion our fall with this water bucket. Release.
Release.
I can't lie. The craziest thing about that film, and it should not come as a surprise to anyone, but most of Jack Black's dialogue in that movie just became memes.
That's when you know it's a shitty movie.
Yeah, and people destroy movie theaters and stuff.
But that was nah. The destroying movie theater shit, nah. But the memes, it's it kind of makes sense because they are funny. Distinctly, like I said, of course, chicken jockey, lava chicken. But one of my favorite ones, I was trying to, but of course, another famous one, Flint and Steel. Come on. That's pretty classic right there for Jack Black.
Yeah, I like the Steelbook of Novocaine better than the regular release, the cover.
I will be, yeah, honestly, that slip for Novocaine, as much as I love that film, that slipcover is not that great. I would have actually taken the one, the poster where it shows, Jack Quaid and then all of those, other tools, that kind of looks like it's, hand drawn. Where it kind of looks like the Operation board game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I can find that. Oh, wouldn't you know? Right here. I'll put myself on the layout quick. This right here.
I would have preferred that.
This is a really good poster right here for that movie to kind of give the selling point of Novocaine.
I would have preferred that on the regular Blu-ray, the regular 4K cover.
So, but yeah, I think that might cover the basis with that though. Yes, there's not really much else.
That week is one of the lowest weeks.
It's a loaded ass week there, dude.
Road Trip, I heard, is not going to have the unrated cut,
which is kind of stupid. I kind of hate when newer formats do that, where it's they don't include the director's cut on the the unrated cut or the director's cut on the 4K. They just have the theatrical cut. That's just fucking stupid.
I'll keep my DVD of Road Trip.
Where it's say for example, The Exorcist 3, where it's they had the Blu-ray, they had the Legion cut on the Blu-ray, but they didn't have the Legion cut on the 4K disc. That kind of pissed me off.
So here's now for Blu-rays.
It's pretty much going to be the same thing with only just a few more things added into the mix. So let's go. Let's just keep going down. See what else we got here. Let's just keep going down to see what other ones we can catch in the fire. Ballad of Wallace Island. Up there. Go back up. Up. There. That. Yep. Quit your scrolling. Yes, you did.
All right.
Damn it, Michael.
Keep going down a little bit. Keep her going, and you're good. There it is. Ballad of Wallace Island. I've actually been hearing a lot of really good things about that movie. Saw the trailer for it. I think I got that trailer in front of Last Breath, and it looked really interesting. And then Opus, another A24 film, really good one in my book.
I haven't seen Opus yet.
It kind of feels, it's very reminiscent of last year's film Blink Twice. Honestly, it feels like really reminiscent of that movie.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Let's see what other ones coming out in April 10th besides the ones that we just June 10th. Sorry, where am I? Crash and Burn. That's another full moon movie. That movie is garbage. That movie is flat out garbage. Dexter Original Sin. I actually might get that if they have it in stock at Walmart because I have the rest of the series. Let's see. Borderline. Michael, did you see Borderline?
Borderline. Which one was that?
Where Ray Nicholson is obsessed with Samara Weaving, who's a pop star, so he kidnaps her.
I've heard about it, but I haven't really seen any trailers. I just remember seeing it like on like Letterboxd. Like a lot of people were talking about it.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's pretty solid. I mean, Ray Nicholson is awesome in that movie.
I do like Ray Nicholson a lot recently, especially with Smile 2.
He also played as the main villain in Novocaine, and he was really funny. But there's a movie in there called Bad Channels.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. That's another one that I really like. Because Michael, to keep you updated, I've seen some Full Moon Entertainment movies. I watched one of their films earlier today before we went live. Well, technically it's under Moonbeam because it's like Full Moon is like the horror stuff, and then the kids and family stuff is Moonbeam.
Yeah, Full Moon is like Puppet Master and all that stuff.
But when you think of Moonbeam, you think of Remote, Prehysteria, Beanstalk. You think of those movies.
Exactly. Yeah.
I checked out Prehysteria for the first time, and it's actually pretty solid. Like,
even though it's a ripoff of Jurassic Park.
Kind of is in a way, but it's not really. But it's pretty good, honestly. Even it's definitely dated.
The plot sounds interesting for Bad Channels.
Yeah, it's got it's definitely got like an early 90s kind of rock and roll soundtrack vibe with it. It's really fun. But but of course, right? Some ways, yeah. But what I'm trying to say with this one is you can definitely. He's gone again.
What the hell happened to him?
But have you seen any Full Moon movies, Michael? Besides the Puppet Master ones?
I actually have not. I've seen Puppet Master 2, and then Retro Puppet Master. I haven't seen anything else Full Moon that they've done.
I only seen Magic in the Mirror, Magic in the Mirror Foul Play under the Moonbeam Entertainment.
The one that I have seen under Moonbeam, besides just recently with Prehysteria, I have seen Beanstalk. Which is a pretty interesting take on the Jack and the Beanstalk story. I'm going to say this every single time I talk about any one of those movies. You can tell it was low budget.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
You can tell they're low budget, but again, it's not necessarily a huge complaint for me, but you can definitely tell it's dated because of its budget.
That's a lot of those movies like that. Even Lloyd Kaufman trauma movies.
The Toxic Event, the original Toxic Avenger, you can tell that movie is dated.
Are you guys excited for the new Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage that's finally getting released?
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Because I actually watched the original Toxic Avenger for the first time recently. I watched the first one for the first time not too long ago, and that movie is fucking weird.
It is. It's nasty too. It was also Marissa Tomei's very first movie, and she's in the movie for 10 seconds.
That's a crazy part. Anyways, let's continue looking down here. Oh, Jesus Christ. In the Lost Lands. Paul W.S. Anderson, garbage.
Not a fan.
Of course, starring his wife, Mila Jovovich.
I will say Dave Bautista was actually pretty decent in that movie. And I think the world building is kind of cool. But other than that, though,
I like The Fifth Element. Didn't he do that? Or
no, that was Luc Besson.
That was Luc Besson.
Yeah.
But you're thinking like Mortal Kombat or Event Horizon or the Jason Statham Death Race.
Oh, I like Event Horizon. I really like Event Horizon.
I love Event Horizon.
Event Horizon's great, yeah. But
too bad we won't get a director's cut because that footage no longer exists.
Which is crazy because when you actually do like a freeze frame and you see a lot of the clips that they took out, holy shit, is it brutal?
It's crazy, yeah, for sure. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look down further. Career opportunities. That's Jennifer Connelly, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard about that movie.
I've heard of it too.
Never seen it.
I got to mention about the Moonbeam that you were talking about. I did see clips of Remote a couple of years back.
Remote's basically Home Alone, but with like with technology.
Yeah,
that's my best way to describe Remote. It's basically Home Alone, but with a basically tech genius. As basic, like if Kevin McAllister was a tech genius, how's that for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely nowhere near as good, but it's still pretty fun. Let's continue. Let's go ahead and continue looking down here. Nothing else too crazy on this one. Oh yeah, there we go. A Different Man. A24 film with Sebastian Stan.
Yep.
That was a good. I heard that was really good.
Really good one, dude. But also speaking of A24, I did get something from their shop recently that I'll show off here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and continue. Keep looking. Continue. I was trying to see if there's like any other ones that like jump out. There's nothing really much else here that's really like, like jumping out to me here.
Invisible Swordsman, another Arrow release.
They got another Arrow release, yep. And Capote, that's it's a media book. That's interesting. The movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman. I think that was the film that actually won him his Oscar.
Capote, yeah, where he played
Capote. Thank you. I always call it Capote for some reason, like Capone.
Yeah, definitely. Not Capone with Tom Hardy. That movie's garbage.
And directed by the guy that freaking made Chronicle.
And Fantastic. Let's not forget Fantastic.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
Nothing much else here. One Tough Cop. I've actually heard of One Tough Cop.
I've never heard of that. No.
What? I have a movie with Stephen Baldwin. Believe it or not, the reason why I know about that movie is because of the VHS opening of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I kid you not. That's the only reason why I know about that movie.
The Joy of Sex.
That's the title. Anyways, what else? Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing really much else.
Re-release of Back to the Future.
There you go. Yep.
Ultimate Trilogy.
I think that might do it, though, with this.
How many re-releases did they do of Back to the Future already?
I could not even tell you, dude. It's like re-releases for like the Back to the Future movies are like a dime a dozen, dude.
I mean,
here goes one. Aliens Expanded. Documentary on aliens. It's documentary on James Cameron's Aliens.
Interesting.
Which I funded, and my name is in the credits.
Dope, dude.
I put some money towards the project, and my name is in the credits.
Very cool, dude.
Beautiful.
There you go.
But yeah, I think that might cover everything with that. Yeah. So, hold on, just charge my phone here really quick. Okay. All right, let's get to the last thing here. You know what it is.
Recent
physical media pickups. So he's got one thing. Michael, you got anything that you picked up recently?
You guys show this off. I'm gonna try to remember what I just picked up recently.
Okay. So, you, sir.
All right. So I got this film called. It's very rarely talked about. It's called. I saw the trailer to it. It actually looks fun, and it is The Wildlife.
The Wildlife.
Chris Penn, rest in peace. Leah Thompson, Eric Stoltz, Rick Moranis, Randy Quaid.
That's a cast right there, dude.
Came out in 1984, and supposedly people have said this is like a sort of like sequel, quote unquote sequel to Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Interesting.
Because it was written by Cameron Crowe, who wrote Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And it's from Kino Lorber.
There you go.
Has a commentary by the writer-producer. Interview with Ian Mitchell Smith. Radio spots in the trailer.
There you go.
You kind of and from like the trailer, Chris Penn's character is kind of acting like his own version of Jess Piccoli in the film. And
that's pretty funny.
And he's going, it's casual.
It's casual.
Yeah. If you see this movie, you're gonna be like saying that. That's gonna be like the new quote. It's casual.
It's casual.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do it with a weird face. Anyways,
that's exactly how he says it when I saw in the trailer.
It's casual.
All right, I did find one. This was like not a couple days ago. I bought this like about a month ago. It's a very not really well-known movie. In fact, I think like it was only in theaters for like a week as like a special thing. It's a movie called The Last Descent. So this is a good one. So I'm not really a big fan of like faith-based movies, which apparently this movie was a faith-based film, but it really doesn't rely on that. I mean, there's probably one scene where like one of the characters is like praying to God, but other than that, it's not one of those Christian propaganda films, which like God's Not Dead or anything like that. So this is actually based on a true story, a very tragic true story. It was about this guy named John Jones. He was a medical student who was married. He had a daughter, and he went to go visit his brother in Utah. And him and his brother used to go cave diving into places like a place called Nutty Putty Cave. And they would go into the cave and stuff. And John ended up getting stuck in a very narrow, steep end, and was stuck like that for 27 hours until, spoiler alert, I'll put my hand up in case anybody wants to see it. Spoiler alert, he unfortunately passed away. And because since his body was so stuck down there, they physically could not take his body. So they ended up sealing the cave and made it his final resting place.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's a very, and obviously I kind of spoiled that for you guys, but it's a really powerful.
If
really
it's a true story,
movie.
then it's not really a spoiler. Like,
yeah. But if you guys liked 120, did you guys like 127 Hours?
I never seen it.
That's a great film.
Then I think you would like this movie. Except 127 Hours actually has a happy ending. This unfortunately doesn't have one. That's why it's called The Last Descent. So I think that should already give people an idea that it was the last time. But good movie, very tragic, but definitely check it out. It was a good one.
All right. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and show some stuff off while Michael seems if he can find any more or anything. Anyways, I actually bought a DVD I don't buy DVDs that much anymore, but if it's like cartoons, like Nickelodeon stuff like that, or like what I'm about to show here, I'll pick them up so I can kind of like. I think this is also like now because I'm living on my own, a good time to like really reminisce on my childhood.
Definitely.
So like one thing I picked up was Transformers Energon: The Return of Megatron.
Okay.
So this is a compilation of a few episodes of from the Transformers Energon TV series, like Megatron Resurrected, Megatron's Raid, Starscream, The Mysterious Mercenary, and the Battle of the Asteroid Belt. The episodes that are on this DVD. Like I also want to pick up like DVDs of like Transformers Cybertron or anything like that, because I always like see like the previews of this on like Nickelodeon VHSs. Like, you know what I mean? Like the SpongeBob ones or something like that. I always see like previews for these.
Do you guys miss the Nickelodeon VHSs where they were orange?
Yes,
absolutely. But I was also gonna say with that, like that was also what introduced me to the anime show Duel Masters, where it's basically like cards that basically have like creatures that kind of come to. It's basically like the original version of Beyblade. Is what Duel Masters is.
Okay.
So that was kind of why, that was kind of like my gateway into like those kinds of shows. That's kind of why I want to buy like more of those like those DVDs. Since shows like that are not released on Blu-ray. So and at least I can find some decent enough space for the DVDs. I'm not putting them with the Blu-rays, but now let's go ahead and get into the Blu-rays. I got the Transformers Energon DVD and these 4 Blu-rays at the pawn shop. So yeah, I did buy Maleficent. It was $5, and I had the sequel, so I was like, whatever. I do not like this movie at all.
Maleficent.
I do not like this movie, and I do not like the sequel.
Sequel I haven't seen, but I really enjoy.
Both are not good at all. But I did also buy the Angry Birds movie too. I will buy the first one at some point, but I saw this one there and I was like, I'll get it. I actually enjoyed the Angry Birds movies. I think they're both funny. I love Bill Hader as Leonard, the lead pig.
Yes.
He is great. Like, oh my god, like that scene, like it's that scene in the first movie, like when he's actually like, introducing himself, and then the other pig is trying to like get control of like this what is it, this like escalator kind of thing. And he's like, and like when it stops, he's like, unbelievable.
We practiced this 100 times. Give it to me. We're gonna come in again.
He's like, we practiced this 100 times. Give it to me. We're gonna come in again. The funniest thing is, I didn't think that was Bill Hader because it doesn't sound like him.
He's so fucking talented.
Makes me excited to see what he's going to do with that Cat in the Hat remake.
Which is that going to be live action or is that going to be animated?
Animated.
Good. We don't need any more live action. Well, actually, I think they can't do that anymore because they said like the Cat in the Hat live action was so bad that Dr. Seuss's wife, before she passed away, or maybe she's still alive, I don't know, forbidded movie studios to ever make another live action version of Dr. Seuss's books.
Yeah. True.
It made sense why. You guys are both out of whack. You're a control freak and you're a rule breaker.
Hey, that'll be 170. Who's your insurance? And then, come on, I love it. It's a musical
so good.
number. Me, meow. How many shots? How many shots? Aren't you precious?
It's so good. Anyways, also picked up Just Mercy. Kind of a little bit on a Michael B. Jordan high after Sinners.
Oh, dude, have you seen? Have you seen Just Mercy?
I have seen Just Mercy. This is a really, really good movie.
It's a masterpiece. Have you seen it, Michael?
No.
No, I don't want. Okay, this is a true story, but I don't want to spoil this one. But I'm telling you, Michael, you have to see Just Mercy. It is an incredible, incredible movie, and based on a true story as well.
Yep. And then one of my favorite Jim Carrey comedies, and I'm going to say this really quick before I show it. You can never make me hate Jim Carrey. Even if it's a bad movie, you can never make me hate him. We got one of my favorites right here, Bruce Almighty.
Ooh, there you go.
I love me some Bruce Almighty.
I've never seen that movie all the way through.
And I'll be honest, like I love Bruce Almighty. I actually don't mind Evan Almighty. Like, I don't mind Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty's not that bad.
Yeah, Evan Almighty. Yeah, the sequel to Bruce Almighty, but with Steve Carell.
I love the scene. I love the scene where Steve Carell's trying to shave his beard and it just keeps growing back every 2 seconds.
That's pretty funny. And then these next two, Michael sent to me. We got Summer of 42 from Warner Archive, and then the Criterion of The Breakfast Club. This is, of course, one of my all-time favorites. Grew up watching this one. I've never seen this, but
yeah, Summer of 42. Definitely check it out. Such a good movie.
And then Breakfast Club, of course, like I said, one of my all-time favorites.
I want to do a watch along of that film. I told him since it's the 40th anniversary of the film this year, should do a watch along.
And got a couple new releases here. First one from Kino Lorber. So fucking glad this got a physical release. This makes me so happy inside. Bottoms. This makes me happy that it finally got a physical release. I freaking love this movie.
Yeah, dude, Luke sent me that picture like before this live stream happened. I'm like, dude.
Bottoms.
So basically, think of Fight Club, but for queer people. That's
basically what it is. That's
basically probably what the movie is.
It's like the only way you can actually explain the plot, but it's good. It's really good.
It's really freaking funny. I mean, this guy right here, Nicholas Galitzine, who plays as Jeff in this movie, he steals the whole movie.
I just looked it up. I'm like, this is a cast of unknowns.
You got Rachel Sennett in there. You know, she played Rosie Schuster in Saturday Night.
The only one out of the cast that I know.
Marshawn Lynch is in it too. I'm not even, dude. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch. And I'll be honest. I know a lot of people hated Love Hurts. I actually thought he was funny in that movie. He was funny.
Beast mode.
Like, bitch ass Raven. Beast mode.
You gotta have an NFL guy in your movie.
Sometimes, but before with the A24, I got an A24 shop pickup. I'm going to show you the card that I got with it, which is this one for The Legend of Ochi. Look at how adorable Ochi is.
Too bad I didn't get to see it in the theater.
It was only in theaters for a limited time where I was at.
Yeah, my theater didn't even play it. But I'll show off. But really quick before I show the movie off, I'll show you the other A24 cards I got in my packages. So here's Sing Sing.
I heard that was good. That's Coleman Domingo.
Yep. Great film right there. I'll show these two together because of the same movie. Got two for The Brutalist. Another excellent movie.
Yeah.
It's long as shit, but damn, it's good.
It deserves it.
Did they announce Death of a Unicorn yet?
Yeah, and I have that one pre-ordered. Got We Live in Time. Weird choice for a picture right here. Weird choice, but it's something. And then we got Maxine, which I really enjoyed.
Maxine was good. I can't remember if I have Maxine. I'm looking right now. Where are you, baby girl?
I do have Maxine.
I do not have Maxine, unfortunately. I just have X and Pearl.
But and then Michael said this one just a second ago. Yeah, but I also got one for Death of a Unicorn.
I still got to see that.
Me too.
And then I'm going to show this one, and I'm going to show this card with this movie because it's actually the same movie, which is Luca Guadagnino's film Queer. So, yep, this is the card that I got. I think I got this. I forgot which one I got it with. But I know, because I know I got the Brutalist card when I got my VHS for Y2K. I know that for sure. I think I might have gotten the card for Queer. I think I got that one with Heretic, I think. But yeah, here's what the cover looks like for this one. I'll actually show this off quick.
Nice.
I can open this up quick. Come on, get out. It's kind of hard to get out for some reason. But here's the case. Not a full image on this one, but it still looks pretty cool nonetheless. And then, of course, you got your disc. Here's what the inside looks like.
Nice.
Hey.
So, I love buying these A24 shop exclusives Blu-rays. I love buying these because I got a few pre-ordered already. I already got Warfare, Different Man, Death of a Unicorn, and Legend of Ochi. Got all those pre-ordered. And yeah, I mean, honestly, the only one that I don't see myself buying out of the ones that came out recently for the A24 shop. Let me go ahead and take this banner down quick. The only one I actually don't see myself buying is Baby Girl. I don't see myself buying Baby Girl.
Why?
It sucked. That's why the movie fucking sucked. So there you go. But like, I'd rather own Queer. Like, I'd rather own this movie. And plus, Daniel Craig was the reason why I wanted to see this movie. But I love Luca Guadagnino as a director, but Daniel Craig was the reason why I wanted to see this.
I love Daniel Craig.
Drew Starkey is also in that movie too, and he's really freaking good. And also Jason Schwartzman's in that one too.
Speaking of Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, guys, I think we'll have to go ahead and end the stream here. We can still talk for a bit, but
I like how he puts Chris Benoit.
Yeah, but we'll have to end the stream here because this is the longest episode that we've done on Movie Fanatics.
Yes.
So, but hey, this is good though.
It's always long with a guest, which is good.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah. So, anyways, guys, we'll see you guys next time for a new episode. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah.